Peters of Bergen Catholic against the Marauders of St. Peter's Prep. Both teams are vying to make the finals in the Parochial A North State Title Championship game. With me today is my colleague Paul Giorgio and Vernon Prince. I'm Bruce Dabney. Paul, the significance of today's game.
Well, the significance is obvious. The winner goes to the state finals. St. Peter's has been there twice before, haven't won it. The Crusaders have been there numerous times, last winning it, I believe, in 1987. And in 86, they beat St. Peter's in the final. It was 33-0, so you could say that St. Peter's is looking for some measure of revenge, although the entire cast have changed since then.
Mr. Vernon Prince, weather conditions and field conditions.
Oh, well, we've got an overcast day, Bruce. It looks like we might have some snow. We might even have some snow during this football game. That will definitely add to the complexion of this football game. The field conditions, if you look in the middle of the field there, you see right in between the hash marks the dirt portion of the field. That section is very, very hard and very rocky, and that could cause for some very interesting play. On the sides, outside the hash marks, on the green, it's a little bit softer, and a lot of players on both teams have switched from the normal cleats to sneakers. So as I said, the conditions are going to be very, very interesting, and might have a lot of slips and slides, and it's going to make for a very interesting ball game.
You better believe it. Now let's go downstairs where we can get some more detailed analysis from Tony Powell and Joe Wisniewski. Take it away, fellas.
We have another summit out here at Cochran Field featuring the Crusaders of Bergen Catholic against the Marauders of St. Peter's Prep. Joe, what does it look like for St. Peter's today?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, the field conditions, it's rock solid. I mean, everyone's switching over to sneakers for St. Peter's. Like I said, they're coming in with a record of 9-1. They've had a 20-day layoff. They're psyched up for this game. I think it's going to be a total out war, Tony.
Well, looking at that field condition, as you said, Coach Stengel and Coach Hansen were out here earlier walking on the field, testing it out, and making jokes about wanting to get a sledgehammer and knock down some of the divots. But both agree that the field is in pretty good condition. It's just going to be a tough place to land if you're one of the St. Peter's or Bergen Catholic players who fall on the ground. Offensively for St. Peter's Prep, what does it look like, Joe?
Well, you're going to look for a running attack for St. Peter's. They've done it all season and have done it very successfully with Mulcahy and Schroeder. Mulcahy has 870 yards for the season. He only needs 130 yards to get 1,000 yards, and he'll be running the ball, the front end of it, I should say. Schroeder's been plagued by an ankle injury all season long. However, with the 20-day layoff, he's going to be 100%. So it'll be very interesting how Hansen intends to mix it up. Again, you also have Anthony Guma, sensational all-county quarterback. So if Prep has to put the ball up, Hansen's very confident that Prep will definitely go for a big play, maybe even on first down, which is unusual for St. Peter's. Normally, St. Peter's will run the ball. But maybe today we might see something different. Prep might throw the ball. And if they're going to throw the ball, look for Delafaye and Francesco to catch the ball.
Well, Bergen Catholic is a young team, and it's a small team. Coach Stengel told me that he's starting 4 sophomores and 6 juniors. And leading him here, they didn't really expect to be here. And they got here on the strength of their quarterback, Dave McGovern, and on the prowess of Jim Ruda and Jim Lawrence Taylor. How do you like that name, Jim Lawrence Taylor?
I like it.
He's a sophomore, and he's wearing sneakers. The crowd is here today, and defensively, if you look at what's going on, you have Chris Kitchell, Mike Cott, and Wally Wong, again, for Bergen Catholic. What we can look at defensively for Prep?
Well, Prep has a big defensive edge, I think, as far as, they have drawn a sensational lineman. You got Booker, who'll be playing the line, and you also got Ferranti. Tremendous line on defense. Also, you got Francesco playing free safety, who's probably one of the best safeties in the county. So, like I said, it's probably going to be an all-out war, Tony.
Bergen Catholic has no injuries to report of. They came off a horrifying loss last week to St. Joseph's, and where they were crushed 29-0 or 28-0. And St. Peter's has had a 3-week layoff. Any injuries to report of?
Well, Tony, I'll tell you figured St. Peter's had 20 days off, they'd be 100% healthy. The case is not that way. Mr. Bill Hoffman, the center, who was hurt several weeks ago, he is out for the season, and that is going to be a vital role to Prep's offensive scheme because center is very vital to getting it to Mr. Guma. Replacing him may be Antti Benzija. That's going to be, you got to watch the exchange on the ball because it's cold out, the ball is going to be hard, and also, even a bigger injury probably is the injury of Mr. Scott Cusco. tremendous offensive lineman and defensive left tackle. He is out for the game. He's apparently sprained his leg or something during school off a step or something. It's a very bad injury. I mean, Prep had 20 days to prepare for this game. Coach Hanson's the last thing he wants to see on a 17th or 18th day to see get him injured. So those are the two big injuries, and it remains to be seen how it is going to affect Prep. But I think the way Prep is geared, they're prepared for this game. They're psyched, Tony.
Okay, there you have it. We're going to send it back up to Bruce, Paul, and Vernon Prince.
Thank you very much, Tony and Joe. Interesting insight there. And again, getting back to the injury of Scott Prusco, how significant, Paul, is that injury?
Well, we can't say just yet, but I mean, in foresight, it's a big injury. Scott Prusco is the man they run behind usually on their off tackle plays. They also pull him on the counter trade play to the opposite side. Now he's also going to be missing him on defense. Defensively, he plays that left tackle, which is normally the power side for the Bergen Catholic or any offense. So he's going to be sorely missed. And Rich Hanson feels confident in the boys that he put in, but they don't have a lot of experience, and it's going to be a big loss for them.
You know, Vern, this Bergen Catholic team, as Tony alluded to, is very young. But they've been here before. They've won 5 Parochial A state championships. How good is that quarterback, Dave McGovern?
Well, Bruce, Dave McGovern, first of all, comes from a family of athletes. I can check that, his brother is a linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, and his name, if I can find it here.
I think it's Robbie.
And his brother, Jim McGovern, is a pro golfer.
Oh.
So, he's got some athletic blood there in the family, and, he has passed for over 900 yards, run for over 400 yards, so he's a multi-talented quarterback who can play fake, who can run the option well. So St. Peter's should be very concerned about that. In respect to last year's state playoff game, in a game that we did here on City 3, where St. Peter's ended up on the short side of the stick because the option quarterback really, really shocked them. But, it should be for an interesting ball game. Both teams look very ready. And right now, we are going to break for a little commercial. We've got to pay the bills. We'll be back after these messages.
To maximize your viewing pleasure, Cable TV of Jersey City makes it easy to use your TV, VCR, and Sigma converter box. To record only what you are watching is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Take the cable that comes out of the wall and connect it to the VHF input of the Sigma decoder. Install a jumper cable from the output of the Sigma decoder marked to TV to the VHF in of the VCR. Install a jumper cable from the back of the VCR to the VHF in of the television set. Tune your TV and VCR to channel 3. Select the channel you wish to watch and record on your converter box. Hit the record button on your VCR and enjoy. Cable TV of Jersey City offers technical help. If you have any questions or problems, call us and ask our customer service representatives or installers at 432-1234. That's 432-1234.
Welcome back to the high school game of the week. Of course, this is the state semifinal matchup. St. Peter's Prep just won the toss, Joe. Paul, rather, they will receive the kickoff.
Okay. It's going to be interesting because last week Bergen Catholic won the toss against Queen of Peace and deferred. So they like to be on defense first. So they're in a situation they want to be in. Rich Hanson's probably anxious to see how his offense is going to operate with Prusco out of there. So it's probably to the benefit of both teams right now that this is how we're going to start.
Well, this is an exciting day. It's also an historic day, Vern, for Jersey City. And can you elaborate on that for us?
Well, since the state playoffs have been instituted since 1975, this is the very first time that a state playoff game has been played in Jersey City. So I'm sure the people of this proud city have to be very happy about that. And even the mayor, Gerald McCann, has got to be very happy about the inclusion of the state playoffs here in Jersey City. Absolutely.
And, of course, Caveman Point, a marvelous complex. They've done a great job with this field, as you can see. And, of course, you see the American flag all around the complex. As we see Bergen Catholic ready to kick off, and John Danello will kick off for Bergen Catholic.
Important point, Bruce. Danello's been kicking short to the left many times this year. I think it's by design. Maybe they don't have the confidence in their coverage. I don't know why he's been doing it. He did it against Queen of Peace. He did it against St. Joe's Montvale. There's a reason for it. And if you notice, Rich Hansen has Paul Mulcahy in that upper right-hand spot where they've been kicking the football. So he's anticipating, a short kick.
Yes, he has Margaret Thunder and Francesco back deep, and the kick is off. Takes a bounce, received by Tim Hawks, and Hawks is tackled on the play around the 32-yard line. So now we see that Prep will have the ball, first down and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Sit back in your seats, City 3 TV audience. Get ready for a great game.
For those of you out there that are interested to find out who the magnificent men in the stripes are, the referees for the game, Mr. Dave Field is the referee. The umpire is Joe Giacongello. The linesman is Frank Carandana. Line judge, Alex Shipley. Alex Goldsberger is the back judge. Clock operator is Al Miko. And the chain crew is John Shortle, Nick Fraga, and Bill Wright.
I formation for Prep. Ball, McKay with the carry. McKay picks up about 4 yards, gets over to the 36-yard line. Is that the regular set that Prep will use, Paul?
Well, they're in the I formation, which is normally what they're in. Bergen Catholic was in really what amounted to a 4-3 that time. Number 31 for Bergen, that would be Jim Taylor, was kind of sitting right where the play was going to be run. But a good play by Mike Cody coming from the inside to make the play.
Second down, 6 yards to go for a first down for the Marauders of St. Peter's Prep. There's Schroeder in motion, stops, is able to continue with the play, but McKay picks up maybe 1.5 yards on the play, but that seemed like just something was not in sync there.
Did not seem as though that was the case, Bruce, but as in most offensive formations, you can't have someone go in motion, and they kind of got away with it on that play.
Okay, on that last play, Chris Kitchell, the right outside linebacker, did a terrific job of coming across field to stop Mulcahy. He might have had more yardage, but he came a long way from his outside position to make that tackle.
Also, he's one of the top defensive players in Bergen County, this Chris Kitchell. Third down play for the Marauders. Guma rolls to his left. Guma has time, runs, and loses 1 tackle, and Guma has enough yardage for a first down, stumbles, but picks up the first down. Great play by Tony Guma. He did that all by himself.
Yeah, he got a nice block from Ante Benzija as he came out of that scramble there.
Brian McMullen also had a pretty good block, number 11, the tight end for the Marauders. It was a kind of a situation where Guma did not find anyone open and had to run. And Tony Guma running the ball is no problem for the Marauders. The Crusaders took a timeout. I don't know what Fred Stengel has to say to his troops, but he seems to be pretty upset. I don't know what could have said to them, Paul, but he's not too happy with his play so far.
That was a 12-yard pickup by Tony Guma, and that Tony Guma, I tell you what, time and time again, when the Marauders have been in trouble, he's always come up with the big play.
Well, one thing that Hansen has done right away is he's gone to spread formation, a regular pro set, which forces Bergen Catholic to come out of that tight look. They can't run that 6-2 like they did against Queen of Peace. It spreads them out on the field. And in this way, Hansen feels he's getting an advantage because he's not going to get too many people in the area of the ball carrier.
Well, the Marauders have the ball exactly on the 50-yard line, so they're making an attempt to get into Bergen Catholic territory for the first down, the first time in this game. I formation, handoff to McKay. McKay is stopped, but he keeps driving. He bounces off 1 tackle and just keeps driving with those legs, picks up about 2 yards on the play, and he gets the ball in the Bergen Catholic territory.
Now, in terms of that multiple I formation, Bruce and Paul, that is the predominant way that St. Peter's usually runs the football. They have Schroeder up at the fullback spot and Mulcahy behind him. And obviously they use Schroeder to block because he is an excellent blocker.
And also, this is Schroeder's first game back for quite some time. Remember, he was out with an ankle injury. And, of course, part of that tandem running combination of Schroeder and McKay has helped Marauders do well this year. Second down, 8 yards to go. Guma back, throws one over as tipped, almost received by Delafab again. Guess who it was? Number 49, Chris Kitchell.
Good job by Kitchell. He dropped off nicely into his short zone and got the hands up. He's got good height, Kitchell. I believe he is
5'11"?
6 foot.
Okay.
6 foot, 195. And he got in that area, he got those hands up, and Delafave is not a very big receiver, so Guma can't really throw it up that high. And it was the result.
Well, that Delafab has made some great catches, though, for Prep in the course of the year. So we have a third down situation. 8 yards to go for Marauder first down. Guma drops back, throws one out to Francesco, and Francesco makes the reception, and it's good enough for a first down as he is stopped by number 13 for Bergen Catholic Crusaders, and then assisted on the tackle was also Mr. Jim Lawrence Taylor. First down for the Prepsters.
I can tell you this, Bruce and Paul. Tony Guma to Jimmy Francesco, I mean, they must have some sort of communication line set up because these guys, they know what each other's going to do, and that connection has resulted in many good plays for the Marauders this year.
Right now, it seems like the Marauders are on a crusade against the Crusaders. As Mulcahy gets the ball inside, handoff, and Mulcahy is close to a 5-yard pickup as he carried the ball from the Bergen Catholic 34-yard line across the 30 to around the 29-yard line.
Again, Kitchell in on the play quickly, breaking down they tried to kick him out there on the outside, and he was right there to make the stop. But a good gain on first down for St. Peter's.
Yeah, for the defensive team on the field right now for Bergen Catholic, you have Pickenich, defensive end, Foley, defensive tackle, Lynch, defensive tackle, and Greg Noble at the other defensive end slot. Second down. About 5 yards to go for Marauder. First
Play
down.
action again.
Guma throws one downfield. Deep for Wolf, and it's just off his hand. Nice pass by Guma, just off the hands of Wolf.
Well, Hanson said he was going to use more play action today, and he wasn't jiving us this time. He's been using it.
Well,
it's been effective, just that John couldn't hang on.
Yeah, and the coverage on that play back deep for Bergen Catholic or the Crusaders was Roger Cutlars, who's the top receiver, I do believe, for the Crusaders there, Vern.
Yes, he is. Excellent receivers, got great hands, but we'll see him on the offensive side later in this ball game.
Okay, we have a third down for the Marauders again as we see Mulcahy go motion. Guma rolls to his right. Guma has plenty of room. Nice block by Schroeder on that play. And Guma takes it down deep again. He's close to the 10-yard line. Stopped once again by number 49, Chris Kitchell, who's all over the place. But a great block by Ted Schroeder on that play.
Not just a great block by Schroeder, good blocking all across the front of the St. Peter's line. And they caught Bergen Catholic over pursuing, so Guma was able to cut back against the grain. There was nobody there.
I tell you, the majority of passing plays for St. Peter's, you will probably not see Guma just take a normal drop back without faking to anyone, or he's gonna sprint left or sprint right to utilize his mobility.
So we have a first down situation deep in Crusader territory. There's our first penalty flag of the game. Let's see what the call is. He's talking to the Prep offense, so it'll be against the Marauders. And let's see what the call is.
No.
Offside against the Marauders.
Prep was lined up in the neutral zone.
Yes, but you know in that previous play too for Prep, we saw number 71 also. Ante Benzeha threw a great block too, along with Ted Schroeder. As you stated, Paul, the whole offensive line of the Marauders seemed to be just dominating or controlling the Crusaders at the point of attack.
Thus far.
So we have a first down, 15 yards to go for the Marauders. Handoff to Mulcahy, and Mulcahy is tackled, stopped almost at the line of scrimmage by Chris Lynch.
A good call by St. Peter's. They called it a draw play because they had Bergen caught in a stunt, and they were in a 6-2 front. But number 57 for Bergen Catholic, Chris Lynch, just made a great individual effort. After Chris Lynch, there was really nobody there.
Yeah, you're right. It was wide open, but of course, Mr. Lynch said, I'll have none of that.
Chris Lynch is a big guy, 5'11", 220. Big guy.
I don't know if he's related to old Dick Lynch, who used to play with the Giants.
I hope he's a better broadcaster than Dick Lynch.
Be nice, be nice.
Second down, 15 yards to go for the Marauders.
Option.
Guma, option play to Mulcahy.
Good block out there.
Good block, and touchdown.
Ryan McMullen
touchdown.
made the key block on that play. If we can get another look at it. He made the block on McGovern, and that sprung it.
17-yard run for Mulcahy off the block of number 11, Brian McMullen, who sealed the defender, forced him to the outside, and that opened up the inside for Mr. Paul Mulcahy, which is now his 11th touchdown of the season.
And the excellent part about that play, when you run the option, Bruce, you like to see the quarterback hold on to the ball as long as possible before he pitches it to the running back. And on that play, Guma held onto it long enough so that the defender for Bergen Catholic tackled him. instead of the runner.
And the extra point attempt by Guma is good, with Francesca holding, so that makes the score 7-0. St. Peter's Prep.
Watch McMullen. You couldn't see it there.
But McMullen made the key block on the play. And of course, as we stated, the score is now 7-0, St. Peter's Prep Marauders. You know, it's interesting, the nickname for Bergen Catholic Crusaders, but it seems like the Marauders are on a crusade right now.
Kind of like the Holy Wars, right?
That's right. What's that, 1095, somewhere back then?
You're very good in your history, Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Paul has some interesting information for us.
That was a 19-yard run by Mulcahy. The prep drive took 11 plays and covered 68 yards. Mulcahy was 6 for 34, and Guma was 2 for 25 in rushing.
Now, Guma will kick off for the Marauders. He's a very versatile athlete, as you can see. Kick is off. It's fielded around the 15-yard line by Bergen Catholic. And then he breaks free.
Oh,
that's number 32. He breaks free.
That's Eric Lane.
Guma got held.
He's going all the way on that play. He just makes it in the end zone, outrunning Tim Hawks. And that was an 85-yard kickoff return by what a break. Eric Lane with the run.
And we're definitely going to see that on the replay. I mean, I didn't see any speed on the part of Lane. He just kind of jogged it at average pace and ran an 85-yard touchdown.
If you'll watch also at the 50-yard line, Tony Guma, it looked like he was either clipped or held, and there was no flag. Let's see. Here, let's see it.
And we can catch the hold.
Watch here. No, maybe not. Maybe not. It looked like it on the field, but maybe not.
Not the fastest 85-yard touchdown.
No, it isn't, but it looks the same on the instant replay. 85-yard touchdown return for Eric Lane, who's just a sophomore. And the extra point attempt is blocked, which could be very significant in this game. So the St. Peter's Prep Marauders hold on to a 1-point lead with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this semifinals Parochial A North championship game. The score is 7-6, St. Peter's Prep Marauders. Boy, I tell you, 85 yards. That Eric Lane, that probably his biggest play in his career. He's only a sophomore.
Maybe he can be called a Night Train Lane.
I tell you what, it looked like that train was running out of diesel fuel there for a while.
When we looked at the replay, we saw Dan Margaritanda had a shot at him, but tried to grab him high. Now, Lane looks like a big fella out there, and Margaritanda would have been much better off trying to hit him lower.
I'm really surprised, Paul, because usually St. Peter's does very well on kickoff coverage, and Eric Lane, like we mentioned, not one of the faster runners on the team, just found the right hole and shot down 85 yards for the score.
That's probably the first kickoff they've had run back on them in a number of years.
Yeah, certainly not this season. We have John Danello kicking off again, back deep as Margaritanda and Francesco for the Marauders.
Line drive kick again.
Line drive kick, and that's fielded on the 30-yard line by the Prep Marauders, and that was Ken Ferranti bringing the ball back too close to the 39-yard line or 40-yard line.
You know, the last time these teams met was in 1986, where Bergen Catholic was one of the dominant teams in Jersey, and they beat St. Peter's by a score of 33-0. Correct, Paul?
I remember it well.
Well, Paul happened to be an assistant coach there during that time, but of course this is a different time now. 7-6. Number 7 happens to be on Guma's jersey as he receives the snap from center, and Mulcahy is blasted in the backfield by number 49. That Chris Kitchell is some football player.
Yeah, they just fired him from the offside linebacker spot against that blast play. Nobody to block him really, because they're playing. Let's watch it. We'll see it again. They're playing a 4-man front, and it's tough to block all those inside people against the 4.
But no one blocked him.
No, they just fired him.
Maybe Kitchell was in the St. Peter's huddle, and he knew what play was going to take place, because it looked like he smelled that play out real well.
Well, we got a second down, 11 yards to go as Guma rolls to his right. Guma's going to run the ball. Again, Kitchell is there on the tackle, but there's a flag on the play.
Be a face mask.
That could be a face mask play call. Let's see what happens there, because he did go down rather funny on that play.
Also, Mike Cody was in there.
Yes.
Dayfield let us know that it is a face mask on the Crusaders, so some yards will be tacked on to the run of Mr. Guma.
You better believe it. But again, Guma this week was chosen the National Conference Back of the Year rather, by the Fifth Quarter Club, which are all the coaches. So that's really significant that the coaches in Hudson County vote Goomer the back.
Yeah, I mean, because usually you see awards like that go to running backs, but here it is. Goomer has the excellent arm and the excellent running capabilities, and that's why he was the National Conference Back of the Year.
Yes. Okay, we have a first down for the Marauders on the Bergen Catholic 43-yard line. Francesca in motion. Handoff to McCahey. McCahey picks up a couple of yards, hard-fought yards on the play, tackled by a host of Crusaders on that play.
One thing we didn't address, Bruce, that maybe we could have, it's been a 20-day layoff for St. Peter's. Thus far, it hasn't really seemed to affect them that much, although on their bread and butter plays, their blasts and their drives, they're really not getting too much yardage. So that it may be affecting them on those plays. On some of the other stuff, the pass blocking and the play action, they looked okay.
Good point, Paul. Second down, 8 yards to go as Goomer rolls left. Goomer is going to be sealed. That option play looks like he wanted to pitch back, but the Crusaders seem to have that well covered.
Yeah, the cornerback on the right side had the play covered. He couldn't make the pitch, and then Kitchell came over and shut Goomer off, and then Pickenage came from behind and made a tackle.
Well, that's the excellent part of the defensive side of the Crusaders. On an option play, you have to string it out, and you've got to get your cornerbacks to not give in to any fakes or anything until the pitch is thrown at the last second, and credit the Crusader defense on that particular play.
Well, with third down, 8 yards to go for Marauder. First down from the Bergen Catholic 42-yard line. Francesco in motion. Goomer drops back, throws to Delafab. Delafab breaks away from one tackle. There's another flag on the play.
Another break for the prep.
There's a flag on the play. Looked like there was a face mask there as well, as he broke away from Scott Robinson, the cornerback initially, and there was a flag on the play. Let's see what the preliminary call is. Looks like it's going to be against. It is face mask once again. So this is the second face mask call in this drive against the Crusaders.
Well, you know, Bruce, St. Peter's has 6 first downs already. Okay, a couple have been by penalty. Bergen Catholic has none. You know, you talk about ball possession and yardage. It's really not an indication many times. St. Peter's has been dominating this quarter, as we've seen, but the score is only 7-6 because of that kickoff return.
But you know, Vern, we see the versatility of a quarterback like Goomer in the lineup for prep. He can run and he can pass, and it's showing itself to be true at this present time. So Marauders have the ball on the Bergen Catholic 18-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go. Man in motion is Mulcahy. Handoff inside, handoff to Schroeder. Just a straight power run right down over the center, and he picks up, 3 or 4 yards on the play? Yeah, 3 yards, so it'll be a second down and 7 yards to go.
You mentioned the versatility of Goomer, Bruce. Yes, he is a very versatile player. As we mentioned, he can run the ball and he can pass. But I tell you, we're going to see a very versatile quarterback on the other side of the coin in Dave McGovern. We haven't seen him yet because Eric Lane decided to run an 85-yard kickoff return.
That's something he'll remember the rest of his life, too, please. Semifinal state tournament action. Okay, second down, 7 yards to go. Man in motion, Francesco. You've got the I formation, the backfield.
Good hole from, it was a fake. A beautiful
fake play. Great. And it's intercepted in the end zone.
Looks like Eric Lane again.
No, that's an Eric Lane. Looks like Scott Robinson.
Scott Robinson.
Number 35. It appeared as if the ball, the end, Delafar was open just for a minute. I don't think Goomer saw Scott Robinson. He just came over and
well, they took a little while throwing it.
As you can see here, Goomer had a lot of time to throw the ball, as you can see. He had excellent blocking, but...
There was a case there, though, where had they run the blast, it might have worked because Mulcahy had some running room, but, you know, you run the play, you call it in a huddle, you can't really change it when you get out there.
It's the first time I've seen Goomer make a mistake like that. When you look at the replay, he shouldn't have thrown the ball because the receiver was well covered.
Yeah.
Bergen Catholic, first down from their own 20-yard line. First time they've had the ball from the offensive side. He stopped. He goes nowhere. Keith Booker in there on the stop. Nice hit. Stopped him at the point of attack there, Paul.
That was Jim Ruda. What you're going to see Bergen Catholic do on offense is flip-flop their offensive line. They have what they call their tight side and their split side. Okay, and they'll just flip-flop to the tight end side.
Running them down real quick for Bergen Catholic. It's Robinson, Wong, Cote, Tremontazi, Ryman, Ryan, DeBellis, Kotlars, Flowers, Taylor, Ruda, and McGovern at the quarterback.
Right, they run the Delaware offense. Another inside handoff, and that goes nowhere as the Marauders are really taking it to the Crusaders at this point in time. Stop for no, as a matter of fact, he's thrown for loss on that play.
Okay, that looked like a counter. I think it was that Taylor who carried or Ruda?
That was Taylor who
Yeah, looked
carried.
like they'll go counter or trap with Taylor after they run the dive by Ruda, and Prep was not fooled by it at all. But watch Bergen Catholic's line. You're going to see a lot of cross blocking, a lot of different things to try and screw up the Prep defense.
Well, Mr. DeFogio screwed that up for them. Believe me, he was right there. Just sealed that play off.
This is their option formation now. Keep an eye on this.
Okay, McGovern fakes the handoff, throws to receiver up downfield. He's wide, and he sees it. And that was number 29 for Bergen Catholic on that catch, which was a nice play.
Joe Martino is the gentleman who made the catch. We're going to have to definitely see that. That was a nice throw from McGovern. We're going to definitely hit the cameras and see that play again.
Boy, well, look at that fake.
And he held the ball behind his back well, McGovern, so he faked it real well, and Martino kind of handed it to the defensive back, said, in your face.
Yeah, Mr. Margaretunda was on the coverage there. But, you know, he had to wait for that ball. Had he not had to wait, he probably would have had 6 points. So Bergen Catholic has the ball in Prep territory first time. Handoff.
Ruda.
And Mr. Ruda picks up about 4 or 5 yards on the play. So it seems like Bergen Catholic is starting to get his offense in gear, Paul.
Yeah, that was, you talked about that McGovern did throw that ball a little bit late, a little bit behind the receiver, but he still threw it about 50 yards in the air, which is good enough.
You better believe it. And again, as Vern alluded to, this guy is a very versatile athlete himself. He does the punting for the team. He does a lot of different other things. And, of course, he comes from a very talented family of brothers. I understand they're well known throughout the Bergen County area.
Big play for Bergen too, because it got them out of their early doldrums there. They had been stopped on a couple running plays, and you get a 50-yard pickup after getting dropped for a couple losses. Picks your team right up.
Roughly under a minute to go in the first quarter in a very exciting football game. 7-6, the Marauders lead.
That's right. As they put the ball, Bergen Catholic puts the ball in second down, 6 yards. Fumble.
And
Schroeder picks it up. There was a fumble on that play. So a turnover, the second turnover. As a matter of fact, one each for both teams. Big play for the Marauders.
Seemed as though he was handing that off to Ruda, I believe, and something there did not go well. But we're going to see it for ourselves, so we couldn't tell.
Quick turn of events.
Yeah, it was to Taylor.
Oh, he fumbled the ball.
Fumbled the ball, and Schroeder got it and picked up about a good 10, 15 yards on the fumble recovery.
So Jim Lawrence Taylor is wearing number 31. Jim Taylor was one of his favorite players for the Green Bay Packers.
I don't think you need the Lawrence. He's already got Jim Taylor. That's enough talent right there.
Better believe it. Goomer, handoff to McCahey, and McCahey picks up 3 yards on the play. And again, assisting on the tackle is Mr. Chris Kitchell, number 49.
Give credit also to Mike Cody.
And number 66, Mike Cody, for the Crusaders. But Kitchell just comes from all over the place. As that's the end of the first quarter. And with the score, the St. Peter's Prep Marauders 7 and the Crusaders of Bergen Catholic 6. Interesting first quarter, fellas.
Yeah, very eventful.
If I can give you the quick rundown on the first quarter scoring, we had the 19-yard run by Paul Mulcahy early in the first quarter, and then the extra point was good by Tony Goomer, so it was 7-0. And Bergen Catholic, right after that particular play, had an 85-yard kickoff return by Mr. Eric Lane, and the point after was not good. And there you see the score, 7-6 in favor of St. Peter's.
Did we get a player on that block? I think it was Benzija blocked that kick, was it?
Benzija, yes. He blocked the point after, which was a key block, and it could prove to be very significant as this game progresses.
Thus far, he's playing a nice game, Benzija. They're running the ball behind him to his right side because to compensate for the loss of Frusco, and they've been running well to that side. And defensively, thus far, he's done a pretty good job.
Right. I'm very impressed so far, even though we've not seen much of the Bergen Catholic offense. And you see the crowd here at Caven Point. Like I said, I am impressed with Dave McGovern. He's a very good quarterback, and like I said, we haven't seen much of him so far in this ball game. But he seems to be a very versatile and a very able quarterback.
He runs that play action so well too. You know, he's tall and he does a nice job. So as we start the second quarter, the Marauders will have the ball second down rather than 6 yards to go in Bergen Catholic territory as we see McKay's thrown for a loss.
Jim Taylor.
Jim Taylor. Well, I see Jim is making up for that fumble.
See, I guess on offense, his name is Jim Taylor, and on defense, we'll call him Lawrence Taylor.
All right, there you go.
And Jim's only a sophomore, by the way, so he's got a couple more years here at Bergen Catholic. Prep tried to run their belly play on that, and Taylor wasn't fooled by it. They couldn't get a block on him on the outside, and he just made a terrific, aggressive
so you see
play.
The Bergen coaching staff. But this is a third down, 7 yards to go from the Bergen Catholic 42-yard line. Guma rolls left. Guma loses one tackler, throws downfield, and Francesco, once again, that combination of Guma to Francesco works again, as Guma eluded a tackle, was still able to concentrate and complete the pass. Good enough for a first down, and good enough for about a 25-yard gain. So let's look at this once again. Great play.
I tell you, the presence of mind of Guma and Francesco on that play was just outstanding. As you see, he was wide open on the left sideline.
That was good enough for 29 yards.
29-yard play that was?
Yeah, 29 yards. So we have a first down for the Marauders deep in Bergen Catholic territory as McKay runs behind the block of McMullen, number 11 McMullen, and number 58 Granda. Again, Granda pulls over and leads that block along with McMullen. He picks up about 5 yards on the play.
I tell you, with Prusco and Bill Hoffman being out, there was some concern that the offensive line of St. Peter's was not going to execute as well. But so far, they are doing an admirable job.
Yeah, up front, they're doing a job. It's the linebackers for Bergen Catholic who are making all the plays.
That's right, and that's exactly what's happening, Paul. We have a second down and about 5 yards to go for a prep first down. Handoff to McKay. McKay eludes one tackle, but he's stopped by Mr. Michael Cote. Cote's in on the tackle, along with number 43, Roger Kotlards. Stops McKay. After McKay picks up about 2 yards, so it'll be a third down and 3 yards to go for a prep first down.
Be interesting to see here, Bruce, if prep goes to their white formation, their power I, which they usually use inside the 10. But Bergen Catholic is a tough team to run on in short yardage situations, so they may just stay with a regular set, which they are doing.
Well, I tell you, that blocking, though, at the point of attack for prep thus far has worked to their advantage. So we have the third down.
Option. Nowhere to go, but look at
Guma. Guma's going to score. Yes, he does. What a play by Tony Guma as the option. 7-yard touchdown run for Tony Guma. But what a play by Tony Guma. That Guma, Mr. Versatile, Mr. Everything.
We're going to definitely see that in replay. I don't know if that play was designed for Guma to run. It did not seem as though he was designed. Look at that. He actually had to change direction, and he had all the field open there for the touchdown.
There was an option play left. It was supposed to be run to the left, but what happened again, Bergen Catholic got caught over pursuing. Guma saw the opening to the right and took advantage of it.
Well, these are the things, too, that point after is up, and it is no good.
The wind took it away, it looked like.
So, these extra points could prove these missed extra points could prove to be very significant later in the game. That touchdown drive was 5 plays, and it ended up in a 7-yard run by Guma, and it consumed 41 yards. Also, the time on the clock, it took about 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So we have 9:49 remaining in the second quarter. The score is the St. Peter's Prep Marauders 13, the Crusaders of Bergen Catholic 6.
I tell you, we're not seeing, nothing in this game so far has happened in terms of the long, sustained drives. Everything has been quick, and the turnovers have helped. We got to change that score, folks. Come on now in the booth. Dennis, we know you better than that. It's 13-6, and you see the Marauders. They're very happy right now.
They certainly are, but that Guma, I tell you, in talking with Rich Hansen this week, he stated that he saw some things that Bergen Catholic likes to play very tight, and when they over-pursue, you can do a lot of things as we saw there, Paul.
Right, when they caught the weak side over-pursuing, and Tony just had the presence of mind and a good eyesight.
Guma kicks off, ball recedes around the 25-yard line, and almost breaks it once again. I mean, there was a seam there for a moment. Ball carrier brings it out to the 42-yard line, and that again was Mr. Ruder. Mr. Ruder brings it out to the 41-yard line of Bergen Catholic, so they will put the ball in 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line.
I'm going to start giving out some nicknames. I like that Rude. I think I'm going to call him Rotor Ruder.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, did you?
Well, Rotor Ruder, and yes, he's he's also a tough running back. I mean, this guy runs the ball most of the time for the Bergen Catholic Crusaders. First down, 10 yards to go. Handoff. It's to Taylor, and Taylor has some running room, takes the ball out, gains about 6 yards on the play. And Mr. Hawks, Tim Hawks, which reminds me of Mr. Hawks a long time ago, just like his dad, makes the play, makes the stop.
That was the Delaware sweep, Bruce, which you see North Bergen run so well. And Fred Stengel had said earlier in the week that they could get outside on St. Peter, so he may be going to that game plan right now.
A second down, 5 yards to go, and I tell you, Taylor looked good carrying that ball there.
Good.
So we have a second down, 5 yards to go for the Crusaders. Delaware offense, there's a handoff, and is that Ruder on the carry? Looks like he picked up maybe a yard on the play there, Paul.
Prep was in a stunt, and Bergen Catholic ran right into it. They fired, it looked like the right side linebacker, Kenny Ferranti, and Ruder just, unfortunately for Bergen, they ran right into it. Sometimes that happens. You can't call the right play every time.
No, you can't. Sometimes it's just a matter of luck, believe it, when certain things work.
Well, you've got about 3rd and 5 right now, and this is probably the situation where you'll see some sort of option, some sort of play action on the side of Dave McGovern.
Good you mentioned that, Bert, because this is their option formation.
And there it is.
And here it comes.
Here it is.
Now watch McGovern.
And he's sealed.
But they sealed him off. Oh, I don't believe he did that.
Schroeder made a great play on a great defensive play, but it seems like to me he was stopped already. Then he flipped the ball back, and they allowed the play to stand. It looks like
it seems as though McGovern fumbled the ball, and it was tipped up in the air, and Taylor had the presence of mind to just knock the ball out of bounds and keep the ball in possession of the Crusaders.
Either that or he was still trying to pitch it or something. Oh, they gave him the gain on that yard. That play.
In high school football, they mark it where the ball ends up, which is different than the pros. The pros changed that rule with Kenny Stabler at the time. He kicked the ball down the field.
That was a great play.
So in pros, you'd have the ball at the 46-yard line. He got 2 yards just on a bad play.
Okay, we have a 4th down.
It's still a punting situation, but watch out for Bergen Catholic. They do a lot of crazy things.
Well, McGovern, the quarterback, is the punter. He averages about 33 yards a punt. Gets the punt off. Excellent punt. Oh, and it goes into the end zone.
Ooh.
So that was about a 52-yard punt.
Yeah, but to Prep's advantage, it went into the end zone.
Oh, sure it did, but I mean 52 yards. It was a 52-yard punt.
Yeah, so it only ends up as a 31 net, which is a big advantage for Prep. Had it stayed on the field, they would have been in big trouble.
Well,
I was thinking to be quite honest, that because of the weather conditions, I kind of assumed that the punt receivers for St. Peter's should move up on that play, but the excellent punt by McGovern kind of changed all that.
Well, have we determined which way the wind's blowing out there? Or?
Well, we have a swirling wind out here.
Swirling, yeah.
Why don't you go outside and check, Paul? Because I don't want to go outside. It's too cold.
So the Prep Marauders have it first down, 10 yards to go from the Bergen Catholic, from their own 20-yard line, as Mulcahy picks up 6 yards on the play.
I gotta tell you, I'm sorry, Bruce, go ahead. I can tell you something about Paul Mulcahy. He's not fast. He's not super quick. But he stays behind his blocker. He's like another racing cars when they stack up behind another car to get caught in that jet stream.
And he's wearing those red sneakers too.
Yeah, that helps. But he's just a fantastic runner following his blocking. He creates that vacuum.
And if you have a guy utilizing the blocks, it's just a matter of time before he breaks a long one.
Oh, we have a flag on a play. Let's see what the call is here. And it looks like someone is going to be in the neutral zone once again. Looks like he tapped Brian McMullen. I wonder if McMullen was in the neutral zone. In high school football, if you just line up, that's what it is offside. So that nullifies part of Mulcahy's run. Speaking about Mulcahy, he's one of what you call like a loose screw, man. He'll do anything. He likes to have a lot of fun. He only needs 130 yards to get into the 1,000-yard rushing yardage for a season. So he's had quite a game. 130 yards, and he'll be a 1,000-yard rushing person for this
He got Pete Bonavoda out there in his first game, really, and he may be the person that's lining up in the neutral zone.
It could be.
Because he's new out there, but we're not sure. We don't want to blame anybody.
Okay,
Guma. Play action, but Guma's in a little trouble.
Fires, and again, it looks like Francesco lost his footing. He slipped. And it's fortunate for the Marauders that the ball was not intercepted.
Now, I tell you, on that particular play, Bruce, Tony Guma had his primary receiver, who was Dom Delafave. He was doing one of those chair patterns, and the play was not there, and he looked for the secondary receiver, who was Francesca.
Well, you know, the Bergen Catholic has a record of 7-3, but
There you see on the screen there, head coach of the Marauders, Mr. Rich Hansen.
and athletic director as well. Dual role for that man. He's done a great job. So we have a third down. And Guma drops back. Oh, he won't make the run this time as they seal that off. There's several carries. Looks like Mike Coates is one of the tacklers on the play. And number 57, Lynch. So Lynch, Coates, and Kitchell. So Lynch, Coates, and Kitchell.
A law firm, maybe? Or something?
Absolutely. And we have Giorgio by Giorgio, you know. Speaking of that.
We are going to talk about that.
better
Don't think
believe
we're going to let that slide away, Paul.
No way. We have a fourth down situation, and Prep will punt. Deep in their own territory, they will punt from around the 23-yard line. So that will be Mr. Guma, who does everything. Punt, kicks extra points, kicks off, and he quarterbacks, and he runs.
And back to receive the punt is Mike Cirillo, number 37.
Short punt. Short punt, and Kitchell lets it roll, throws a block, and it'll roll out of bounds around the 45-yard line of Prep. So that was not a very, maybe about a 20-yard punt if it carried that much. And the wind, you see how the wind just took that ball. Reminiscent, Vern, of the St. Peter's College in Jersey City State
Oh,
game.
boy, we need not mention. I thought we were in Candlestick Park for that one. 21 yards, right?
Yeah, 21-yard punt. That's not going to help the Prep cause. My impression right now, we were talking about the wind, is that the wind may be blowing from left to right, because on McGovern's punt, the ball took off like a cannon, and on Guma's punt, looked like it was fighting uphill. So,
Okay, we have the Crusaders putting the ball in 1st and 10 from the Marauder 45-yard line. Man in motion is Taylor, but it's handed off to Ruder right up the middle there. So Ruder picks up about 5 yards on the play. As we see a little bit of after action there on the play, a little, what's the number 53, seemed to be a little excited.
Yeah.
Brian Tramontozzi, but that's all right. I mean, he's just into this semifinal state tournament game. You know, people, you see those initials, NJSIAA. That's the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association. That's all that means.
That's
very good.
Second down, 5 yards to go from the 40-yard line of the Marauders. 5 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Another man in motion.
Option
Play.
got the pitch back. Nobody's there.
There's no one there.
Oh, great tackle, though.
Who is on that tackle?
Jimmy Francesca.
Mr. Francesca makes a great tackle on the play because it looks like he has some running room just to run. A nice play by Francesca. But again, McGovern holds on to that ball. He runs that option quite well.
Yes, he sure does. He's got good feet. He's probably a little bit quicker than Guma. He makes a nice decision most of the time to not pitch the ball, although he made a mistake last time. But
Paul Flowers was the man who carried the ball on that play. He came out of the motion on the right side.
Right, and Mr. Francesca almost gave him some flowers with that tackle. That was a great play by Francesca. As we see, McGovern drops straight back over the middle, and the receiver's wide open, and that's around the 15-yard line. We had some hitting after that play, and that was Jim Taylor. So he shows you not only can he run the ball, but he can also receive the ball.
Came out of the backfield and straight up the field, and in the seam of between the linebackers and the secondary, and McGovern put it in there. And
I tell you this
good.
too, gentlemen. One of the umpires has gone into the Bergen Catholic huddle to speak to Jim Ruder because he's been throwing some late hits, and I think the umpire wants to just kind of calm him down, say, hey, just kind of keep your head above water and just relax.
Yeah, he's very excitable. I was
Yeah.
talking to the coach, to Fred Stengel, and he said Jimmy really gets a little overfried out there sometimes, but got to try and keep him calm.
Well, as we see Bergen Catholic, first down situation, they have a man out to the right, receiver, but the handoff is into Mr. Ruder. Mr. Ruder runs the ball and is stopped by Brian McMullen and several other Marauders on that play, but he picks up about 5 yards, so it looks like they're running their option quite well now, Paul.
Yeah, well, that wasn't the option that time, but that was that. We talked about that cross block, and then they blast ahead. It's the same as a blast play, only they run it out of an overload formation. But their momentum is starting to pick up now. The bad punt, the complete pass, and now they're coming off the ball a lot quicker.
Yes, and the first time we saw them on offense, they were moving the ball quite well until that fumble. So let's see what happens here as they have a second down, 7 yards to go.
There it is again. With the lead.
is it to Ruder once again, and Mr. Ruder picks up about 3 yards on the play. He stopped there by Mr. Granda and Keith Booker on the play. So the Crusaders have a 3rd down and 4 yards to go for a 1st down as they have the ball on the prep 18-yard line.
Now, I'm not too sure about the kicking situation for Bergen Catholic. You know, I don't know if they want to, I mean, obviously they like to get the 1st down, but if they don't, I don't know about the capabilities of the kicker, Daniello, for Bergen Catholic.
They haven't tried a field goal all season. Fred Stengel said they haven't been in a position to, but, you know, they do have a wind at their back right now, so they may do it.
As we see McGovern.
Swing pass.
Swing pass.
Oh,
And drop.
drop.
Taylor, it might be a live ball. Let's see what the call is. Let's see what the call is.
No, it's not that. It looked like if Taylor was in front of McGovern, it's a pass. If he was behind him, it's a lateral.
It's a lateral.
That's right. Let's see what the call is. It's incomplete.
I thought so.
Incomplete. So let's see if they do go for the field goal here. If they're in Danello's range here, as a matter of fact, the wind is to his back.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to try.
I don't see him coming out on the field. I think
it's a long kick,
go
and
for it.
I think Fred Stengel is confident in his offense that they can get this yardage.
Well, this is 4 down territory anyway, so it's 4th down and about 4 yards to go for a 1st down as they have the ball on the prep 18-yard line. Even if they don't make it, prep will have the ball in play on their own 18-yard line. 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in this quarter. As we see the Delaware wing offense, we see man in motion.
Waggle right.
Receiver was wide open.
Big play.
Nice pass play. Number 43 on the reception, Roger Kotlars, which is Kotlars is his favorite receiver, and Kotlars makes play. But you see how he got positioned on the defensive back?
Yes, he did. He used his used his body well, kind of like picked off the run. We're going to see that pass again on the instant replay by a fantastic City 3 crew. You see, McGovern kept the ball there. Now, we had got the chance to see Kotlars. You just saw that he utilized his body real well to catch that ball from McGovern. And it's a 1st down for the Crusaders.
And they call a timeout with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go. You know, and Kotlars seemed just to get, he used his height to his advantage against Jimmy Francesco. Kotlars is 6'2".
And Francesca is a very short guy, so he definitely utilized his height on that particular
Yeah, you know, and going back to the other play, Vern, it was close to being called a lateral. You know,
yes.
that pass play.
We're going to catch it again here on the replay.
It's very close.
We're going to catch that pass.
Now, Taylor's up in front.
Yeah, he is up in front. So it was just a marginal call, but you're right. Clearly on the replay it shows that he was up in front.
Thanks, guys in the booth. Excellent guys.
Well,
Lamar, the replay stuff.
Absolutely,
right?
And Dr. Dennis Benjamin.
Too much can be said about
Miss Maria Gonzalez. you know, we only have 2 women on the crew today, Marilyn Vigilante and Maria Gonzalez. But let's go to another replay. Giorgio by Giorgio. Vern, would you care to let people know what happened this week?
Well, the City 3 crew would like to congratulate the Giorgio family, our commentator in the middle here, Paul Giorgio, and Mrs. Doris, correct? Doris Giorgio brought forth a new one into this world, and her name is Kira Giorgio. And what are the pounds and ounces on her, Paul?
Sure. Currently, she weighs 7 pounds, 6 ounces.
Currently. That might change from day to day.
Right.
Congratulations to you, Paul.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
We have a 1st down. And there's the handoff to Taylor. Taylor's in the end zone. He scores on the play. So Taylor on, looks like a 5-yard run. So 4-yard run. I can't give him credit for the extra yards. He scores. So that makes the score 13-12. St. Peter's Prep. Call now. Will they go for the 2-point conversion or just kick the extra point, Paul?
I think they kick and play the tie right now.
I think they kick it, yeah, at this point in the game. We're going to catch the touchdown on the replay here. So nice fake by McGovern. That's the pass to Kotlars that got them the 1st down.
That was the waggle right play that McGovern just faked the handoff and just rolled to his right and threw the pass to the receiver.
We're going to get a chance to see that. Right now we're going to see the extra point attempt by Daniello for the tie.
Kick is up, and it is good. So, with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter, the score is St. Peter's Prep Marauders 13, and the Crusaders of Bergen Catholic 13. So we have a brand new ball game.
And there you see, we had the information that once again, it was Jim Taylor on the 4-yard run. And that drive by the Bergen Catholic Crusaders went 8 plays and 55 yards. And I tell you, on the sidelines of St. Peter's, they've got to be really shocked at what's happening so far, because I kind of feel like they thought they were going to dominate the Crusaders, especially because of their size and because of their strength. But the Crusaders are playing an excellent football game, and as we say, they are right in it because it's a 13-13 tie.
Well, you know, they're used to going against good competition, as we see their cheerleading crowd. They play in probably the best league in the state, in the NJIAA. You know, and almost.
Are you saying, yeah, they do play in a very good league?
Almost week after week, they're playing a good team. So, you know, they're used to good competition. And this boy McGovern, I mean, he's as good as anybody we've seen in Hudson County throwing the football.
All right, that's the Northern New Jersey Interscholastic League they play in. And it's a low punt, and it's going to be received around the 29-yard line. That was one of the up men for the prep who received that ball. Let's see who he is.
Kenny Ferranti.
Mr. Kenny Ferranti. Good hands. That was a ground ball, as I always say to the shortstop. The reason why I always say shortstop, I was the shortstop.
And if you notice now, you know, we talked about Daniello kicking short to the left. But he notices Mulcahy's there, and now he's kicking short to the right. He's kicking to Timmy Hawks, which, you know, isn't too bad for prep. But it's not getting to Hawks. It's getting to Ferranti.
That's right. So we have a first down for the Marauders from their own 36-yard line. We've got a lone setback. We have man in motion for the Marauders. And that's Schroeder in the backfield as Guma rolls right. Guma has running room. He has running room and the back. Oh, and that looks like Michael Coate, who makes the tackle, forces Guma out of bounds around the 40-yard line. He picks up about 4 yards on the play.
If you notice before the play, Bruce, Prep went into their motion. The entire Bergen Catholic secondary shifted over that way, kind of knew that St. Peter's was going to be sprinting out to that side. If Prep can get Bergen thinking that again and come back maybe with some type of bootleg the other way, they might catch them, you know, with an advantage.
And they can run that bootleg. They really can. Okay, so now we have second down. About 7 yards to go. Guma drops back. Looks for a receiver. Throws deep downfield. Just overthrows. He overthrows his intended receiver, Francesco, and that's quite a combination. And Guma took a pop right after he threw that ball, too.
Good protection, though. But that was a case where Tony, if anything, had to try and drill that ball underneath because McGovern had backside position on Jimmy Francesco. A difficult pass, though.
You better believe that's a difficult pass, and it's hard. But again, as you alluded to before, Bergen Catholic, although their record is 7-3, plays in the toughest division in the state, the Northern New Jersey Interscholastic League. When you have Passaic, you've got St. Joseph's of Montvale. You've got some great teams there, believe me.
Yeah, you sure do.
You mentioned St. Joseph's of Montvale. They're going against Del Barton in the other bracket of this Parochial A. So the winner of this game will play the winner of the St. Joe's Del Barton game.
As we see Guma dancing in the back, it's going to be thrown for a loss. He had a man open. There's Kitchell and all them Crusaders. There's about 4 people who really popped Guma on that play.
And I tell you, they held him up so that everyone can get their lick on him because it was a team effort on that one.
He takes a licking, but he keeps on ticking. He'll be right back in. Believe me, Guma's a tough guy.
He had Delafave open on the slant, but didn't throw it. Maybe somebody had his hands in his face. I don't really know.
As Bergen Catholic uses their last time out, I believe, maybe they feel that they can put on a block or something in a situation with 58 seconds left to go in the second quarter, 13-13. And again, as we point out, this is a great game. And the other thing we have to state is that, again, I can't emphasize this enough. This is the first time Jersey City has ever hosted a state tournament game.
Right. That's right. First time we've had the facility to do it.
And you see one of the defensive standouts for the Crusaders in Chris Kitchell.
No, he was voted the top defensive player in Bergen County, which tells you the type of ability. In all of Bergen County, it tells you the type of ability this young man has.
He's terrific. He's got 31 unassisted tackles going into today, 71 assisted for a total of 102.
And he's 6 feet, 195. He's a senior. Some sure colleges are drooling at the thought of having Chris Kitchell in their Kitchells.
You know, and the Marauders here from Jersey City, St. Peter's Prep, they're 8-1, and the only loss that Mr. Paul Giorgio was there to witness was against Middletown South.
Yeah. And they played a good game too. They couldn't stay with them. Now, last time Bergen came from their left on a block attempt. Let's see if that happens again. I'm sure they're going to try and pull something.
They put more time back on the clock. It's a minute and 2 seconds now. It was 50. I guess they had to add 4 seconds. Guma Oh,
boy.
almost blocked.
He kicked it underneath Kotlar's.
He certainly did. That was close to being blocked as it's blown dead on the 46-yard line of Bergen Catholic. So Bergen Catholic will have good field position with 52 seconds remaining in the first half.
You mentioned the only loss of the year for St. Peter's was to Middletown South on the side of Bergen Catholic, so we can let everybody know this. They're 7-3, and their losses were to Montclair. They also lost to Passaic, and last week they lost to St. Joe's of Montvale.
Yeah, and that St. Joseph Montvale is just on a roll, you know. But we have an interesting situation. You know, he's got Kotlar's. Kotlar's is his favorite receiver. We've seen that McGovern can throw the football, so I would suspect that he's probably going to try to throw one deep downfield. Throws one inside, just off the hand, and there's a flag on the play.
I agree with that. It's a good call. Margaret Tonda was in there early.
So again, this will give them good field position once again, and with 29 seconds left to go in this first half, there's plenty of time.
I can tell you this, too, because of Fred Stengel's...
Hold on. I think we have something else back on the line of scrimmage. Oh, he called it offensive pass interference.
Oh,
wow,
boy,
that was
the offense?
Maybe it happened elsewhere on the field. I don't know.
Might be able to catch that on the
Let's
replay.
see.
I'm not sure. Oh, man, that's going to hurt.
I don't know where that was. That seemed to be... I didn't notice the push-off. It's possible that Ruda pushed off. Who knows?
It's also a loss of down.
Yes. Well, so that...
You might see Bergen just trying to run the clock out now. But as far as timeouts, what does Prep have left to...
They've got their timeouts. They're complementing the timeouts. They haven't taken one yet, so...
They may stop the clock.
Well, you better believe it. Second down. But we've seen the arm McGovern has. But you're right, Paul. They may just elect to run this clock out. As Jim Hager said, they've got second down in a bus.
And he's choosing not to run the clock out.
Oh,
back out.
Wide open. And he's going to get out of bounds on the play. He does. He's hit out of bounds by Margaret Rotunda. He runs into Schroeder. Look at Schroeder. He's coming out there talking to one another. There's been a lot of talk on this field. I mean, they're discussing probably Plato.
Probably talking about what they're going to be doing after the game, like maybe hanging out at the local spot, right?
Or maybe talking about the Detroit Laker game last night. Went overtime.
Sure.
Do we have to bring that up?
So we now have an official timeout with 20 seconds left to go in the game as one of the young men has to correct his equipment. That's Margaret Tonda, just fixing that helmet there.
If I may say so, at halftime we've got some interviews for you, which I think you should definitely stick around and check them out. Joe Wisniewski is going to be interviewing Father Fred Salmon of St. Peter's Prep. He is the president of St. Peter's Prep. The other two I'll tell you about in one second.
McGovern drops back. Booker rushes it just over the middle, just a pass over the middle to Jim Taylor. But Mr. Taylor's covered well by Mr. Granda, so that goes nowhere. Didn't fool anybody. So we have a fourth down for Bergen Catholic, and Prep uses a timeout.
I'm surprised that Bergen Catholic is choosing to continue this offense. I thought they would kind of sit on the ball, but McGovern threw a pass right into the center, and it was a good catch, but it was also a very dangerous one.
Well, the problem, Vern, is if they sit on it, if they just take the kneel, it's only like a 2-second play. Prep calls a timeout. That's only 2 seconds off the clock each time. So now, they're running 7, 8, 9-second plays, so it's helping them run the clock down, although they are dangerous plays. But Rich Hansen was struggling to get a timeout call, and it took Prep about 5 or 6 seconds to make that timeout call. And that hurt them there. They would have had some extra time, as we see the Bergen Catholic faithful who came down from Oradell to see our fine place here at Caven Point.
They're about 30 minutes away from Caven Point. That's up in Oradell, New Jersey.
That's right. And they
have
a
lot.
lot.
A couple days ago to talk to Coach Stengel, and I was a little surprised. They have a nice facility, but they have a field that has no grass on it. And I was surprised to see that because I figured they'd have a little bit better playing surface.
Right.
But they do have a brand new weight facility, training facility that the Touchdown Club, the Booster Club for Bergen Catholic, built under the direction of Nick Saugus. Is it Saugus? Sangus, who we are going to interview at halftime. I was up at his house last night to get a videotape, and they got a nice setup there.
And the third interview, we mentioned Father Salmon and Nick Stangus. The third interview, Joe Wisniewski is going to interview none other than our good friend, Jim Haig.
As we see that McGovern drops back the previous punt. He had a 52-yard punt.
The wind's going to definitely help him on this one.
Oh, you better believe it. But he averages around 33 yards
Prep
normally.
for the block.
Punt is off. What a nice punt.
No return.
I mean,
That's beautiful.
I mean,
It's
what
gonna
a
die there,
punt.
too.
It's going to
Will it
die.
die?
No,
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 it goes into the end zone. So again, that would be a 55-yard punt. This guy is booming him. But again, the wind, he has a jet stream to his back, but he uses it well. But you can see he's a good punter. So that's the end of the first half. The score, Bergen Catholic Crusaders 13. The Marauders of St. Peter's Prep 13. So it's even Steven, fellas.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, and this is semifinal state tournament, Parochial A North game to decide who will go into the finals against, of course, either St. Joseph Montvale or Del Barton. As we see Rich Hansen and the coach of Bergen Catholic having a conversation with the refs, and Hansen looks like he's livid.
Yeah, I don't know what he could be upset about. There could be some calls out there that he was upset about. I'm not really sure. We might have to find that kind of situation
Could be the
out.
situation with Ruta, you know, with the extracurricular stuff that they haven't really done anything about yet, you know.
Yeah, but over here on the sideline, too, you saw that where Rich was trying to get a timeout, but his players weren't paying attention to him. This emotional level for a game of this magnitude is because if you lose, you're out. As we see on the screen, the score 13-13 at halftime. You know, in this, in this crucial and vital game for everybody. There is no tomorrow, fellas.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I think we're going to break away.
Okay, we'll be back to you right after these exciting commercial words.
Right here.
The Kennedy Dancers present Holiday Ballet at the Roy Irving Theater, St. Peter's College in Jersey City. Saturdays, December 2nd and 9th at 8 p.m. Sundays, December 3rd and 10th at 3 p.m. Come and enjoy Holiday Ballet. For ticket information, call 659-2190.
Yes, we are back here at Taven Point, Cochran Field, where the halftime score is 13-13. Bergen Catholic against St. Peter's. Hope you're enjoying the game. We're going to go down to the field where Joe Wisniewski has got Father Fred Salmon from St. Peter's Prep.
Thank you, gentlemen. With me is Father Salmon, president of St. Peter's Prep. Father, thank you for joining us here on our halftime show.
Pleasure to be with you.
Father, there's been some fundraisers going on at St. Peter's, and could you elaborate a little bit about the President's Council and various other fundraisers that you have going on at your school?
Sure, we have what we call the annual fund, which runs basically from July the 1st until June 30th of each year. And it is an appeal made to the alumni of St. Peter's Prep, to parents of alumni, and to parents of the students presently enrolled, as well as to friends of St. Peter's Prep. There are various gift clubs within the annual fund, and one of those gift clubs is called the President's Council. Membership in the President's Council is open to any alumni or parent or friend of St. Peter's who contributes $1,000 a year or more to that annual fund. We are very pleased that in the annual fund for the year 1989-90, the one just completed, we had 135 members of the President's Council. So we're very, very delighted and also very, very grateful for that great support and really the leadership that so many of the people in the President's Council have demonstrated.
Father Salmon, you yourself are an alumni of St. Peter's Prep. I believe it was 1954 you were saying?
1954, yes. An alumnus myself, and my father was an alumnus before me. He graduated in 1924.
That's a long family tree there. Father, tell me, what are the fundraisers for? What is the money used for, the funds?
We depend on the annual fund and the monies raised from it to make up the difference between the tuition that is charged and the actual cost of educating the students that we have at St. Peter's Prep. We are not alone in that. Many, many private and Catholic schools in particular have to depend upon gifts and donations and other sources of funds in order to make up that difference.
Okay.
So all of those gifts are used really to continue the operation of the school.
Well, you definitely have a fine facility there at St. Peter's, and as the crowd, a tremendous following, you have to be optimistic about the score also. What do you think of the game? 13-13 at halftime. It's a little cold out here, but the adrenaline's flowing, Father.
I am tremendously pleased with the game. I'd be much happier if it were 13-0, but no, it's a great game, and the team is absolutely fantastic. And I am really, really delighted with the great job that Coach Hansen has done and continues to do. And I'm really very proud of him and of the team. It's a great team, and they do great things for the prep.
Thanks for joining us on this halftime show. We're going to go back up to the booth. Thanks again.
Thanks, Joe.
Right, thank you very much, Joe, for those interesting insight there with the father, Salmon. And of course, we know how important and significant it is to have fundraisers at a school like St. Peter's Prep and North Bergen Catholic.
Absolutely. I mean, we can see that with some outstanding fundraising programs, you get good crowds coming out to football games, and we've got an excellent crowd out here today. I mean, the stands are filled, and I mean, even though it's cold, you get the fans coming out there. We've got the 13-13 tie between the number 2 seed, St. Peter's, and the number 3 seed, Bergen Catholic. I believe we're trying to get the second interview set up down on the field. But, Bruce, we can talk more about what's, the thoughts on both sides of St. Peter's and Bergen Catholic.
Well, St. Peter's came into this game with an 8-1 record, and of course, Bergen Catholic came in with a 7-3 record. But what I'm looking at here is this is a capacity crowd down here at Cave and Point for the semifinal state playoff game, Parochial A division. Of course, the winner of this game will meet the winner of the Del Barton St. Joseph Montfield. Which is interesting about the state setup. Oftentimes, people want to know why we can't get to a real state champion when North would play South. But at this point in time, we're going to throw it down to the field where Tony Powell has an interesting halftime guest.
And we're here with Nick Sangus, president of Bergen Catholic's Crusader Touchdown Club. Nick, first of all, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Congratulations on the new facility that you've built, the weight training facility, is it?
Yes, thank you very much. Took us a long time to build that facility, and we generated all the funds ourselves. We just had it appraised at about $100,000, and it's going to be paid off in another month.
Well, that's fantastic. What kind of fundraising activities do you do to raise that kind of money?
We have a journal which we sell ads that nets us about $35,000. We have a 50s dance. All the other work is done through a volunteer. We'll do from car washes, anything we can do to raise funds is what we basically do.
And the results seem to show themselves out here on the playing field today and during the course of your season each year.
Yes, the results we're very happy with. We have a team, particularly this year, that doesn't have many Letterman returning, and our coach, Fred Stengler, has done wonders for us. He really has.
Well, that's wonderful. Listen, tell me a little bit, if you will, about your impressions of this first half.
I thought the first half went pretty well, to be honest with you. I expected St. Peter's to be a little bit more physical, but being in the NJIAA Atlantic division, we're accustomed to very, very physical teams. I didn't think we could move the ball as well as we have when we had the opportunity to move the ball. We did have some mistakes that were some mistakes made by not inexperienced players, but players that are young that are going to make the mistake.
Yeah, I can understand that. Let's move back and talk some more about the Crusader Touchdown Club. I understand in talking with some of the other past officials of the club that the club's been around about 7 or 8 years.
Yes, the club was started in 1981 by George Mascara, and he was our founding president. And we went through the Dan Minogues and the John Hutchinsons, who we have named our Hutchinson's Hut after. Al Vinci, Carl Haas, Jim O'Brien, and now myself. Next year's president is also an alumnus of the school. I'm one of the few presidents that did not graduate from Bergen. Jim Robinson is going to be our president in 1990.
Oh, okay. One of the things I was talking about with Jim and some of the others on the sideline was that there's a lot of tradition between these two schools in terms of graduates from either Bergen Catholic coaching over here at Prep. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, many of our coaches are graduates of Bergen Catholic. George Mascara graduated from Bergen, Tony DeBellis, Joe Hammerly, Jim O'Brien, Tim Conway, Tim Conway's dad, Mike Conway, bleeds Bergen Catholic in Notre Dame. So basically a lot of our alumnus do come back and coach.
Well, that's great. Once again, we've been talking with Nick Sangus, president of the Touchdown Club, Crusader Touchdown Club at Bergen Catholic. Thank you very much for joining us on the halftime show.
Thank you, Tony, for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Okay, we'll send it back up to the booth.
Again, Tony and Paul the significance and the importance of these clubs to raise funds.
Tony's down there.
Well, Tony, Bruce, Paul, all of us are all part of the crew. By the way, I made a statement before that we had 2 women on the crew. No, correction. We have 3 women on the crew. We have Mrs. Ruby Benjamin, Maria Gonzalez, and Marilyn Vigilante, and they're doing a great job with the City 3 crew as always.
3 of the finest ladies I know.
You better believe it. And we have another interview. Of course, he's normally up in the booth with us, but Paul, I mean not Paul, who's that down there? Joe Wisniewski is going to interview Mr. Jim Haig. Let's throw it down to the field.
With me is a special guest, Mr. Jim Haig, part of our Crack City 3 crew staff. Jim is on the field today reporting for the Dispatch. Jim, you got to like what you see so far for both teams.
Well, it's been a very hard-hitting, very emotional football game, and I kind of like that aspect of it, but you got to like that in a state playoff game. I think Prep had their chances to put this game away. The Guma interception in the second quarter was a little costly there. I don't think they anticipated having Bergen Catholic run back a kickoff on them, so I think those are 2 mistakes right there that I think are going to come back maybe and haunt them in the second half. But I think Prep will come, warm themselves up a little bit and come out in the second half all fired up and ready to give it a good 24 minutes of action in the second half.
Well, what's surprising, it's very cold out today, and you're seeing a lot of passing going on. I thought it was going to be more of a running type game, and it seems like they're throwing the ball as if it were an 80-degree day.
Well, for Bergen Catholic standpoint, that's Dave McGovern's bread and butter, as he is a passing quarterback. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards this year, and he does run a lot of play-action passes out of their wing tee. Anthony Guma, I knew he would be the featured man in this game. I talked a little bit to Rich Hansen in the week prior to the game, and he knew that he was going to have to, he said dance with the one that brung him, and the one that brung him was the NJSIAA back of the year in Anthony Guma. He's playing right now probably his best all-around game this year, both running the option and throwing the ball. He's had an excellent first half. I think if he could take that pass back again, he'd throw it over again, and he'd be doing really well.
Certainly, indeed. He was voted All-County Quarterback or National Back Player of the Year. What I want to talk about, all season long, you're involved with the Dispatch, picking your top 10 teams. Hoboken, you have Hoboken involved in it. You got St. Peter's, they're 1 and 2. Jim, in a mythical matchup, I think since you're the one that's in charge or the one that gives some insight on rating these teams, who is the better team or who would win?
Joe, that's a very difficult situation. I thought about that if there was a mythical championship. Before the season began, Hoboken played Prep in a scrimmage, and Hoboken won 4 touchdowns to 1. However, I'm a firm believer in size winning football games in Hudson County, and especially size up front. And even though Scott Presco isn't playing today, but they have people like Presco, Keith Booker, Dan Granda, Ante Bidziha. They got an excellent amount of size in the up front. I think that would be the key to the game. And even though Dwayne Peterson would probably bust 1 or 2 in that game, I think size would prevail. It'd be a close game, but I think Prep would probably win that football game just on size alone.
Hey, Jim, you're going to be getting a lot of letters over at the Dispatch come Monday.
There's no question when it comes to my problems with the people in Hoboken, but I want to assure the people that it has nothing to do with disliking Hoboken or favoring Prep. It just has to do with the fact that it's one man's opinion, and that's the way I feel.
Jim, not to change the subject, but I want to talk a little bit about Emerson and Ferris. There's an interesting article in the local newspapers about them cutting off relationships. It's a hot controversy. What do you know about the situation?
Well, just the fact that I think the Emerson people are upset that Ferris is no longer going to be playing football against them because they're not in the same conference, so that is a non-conference game. It's a schedule game that they have to do amongst themselves. Ferris has decided to play, I believe, Paramus Catholic next year, and Emerson didn't like that idea, so now they're cutting all games away. Personally, from my standpoint, I think this is petty garbage. I think we're getting away from the fact that we're all in the same county, Hudson County. We're supposed to be showing a lot of brethrenship and good spirit and good sportsmanship, and this is just another case of adults and paperwork getting in the way of high school athletics. It should be, if Ferris and Emerson have a week off, they should play each other, just like I think whoever, if there are 2 Hudson County teams and they have the week off, they should be able to schedule themselves. It was ridiculous to see a school like the Jamesburg Training School come all the way up here and play Hudson County teams 3 times when they could have actually played each other. I think it's a sad state. I think that's something that everybody in the county should sit down and try to rectify and make sure that they play each other, because it saves money, it saves time, and it also lends to the spirit of Hudson County high school sports. I think that's what they need to do.
Well, there's a lot of controversy going on in Hudson County. We're just about getting ready for the second half. Jim, any final comments? Who's going to win this game?
Well, it'll be very interesting to see with each team's first possession in the second half. If Prep is able to drive the ball, I think they'll be able to win the football game.
Okay, we're going to take it back up to the booth.
Thank you very much, Joe. Okay, Joe and Jim, and of course, Hudson County. That seems to be the hot topic here, Mr. Vernon Prince.
Well, you know, you talk about that Emerson Ferris situation where Emerson doesn't want to play Ferris in any sort of sport. And, you know, like Jim Haig mentioned, you know, it's the adults and the paperwork that gets in the way of that. And I think somewhere along the line, the Hudson County officials have to step in and say, hey, this is not something that you guys can decide on. The NJSIAA says you guys have to play each other. Forget all this other nonsense. And I mean, it even happens in basketball where Ferris does not play St. Anthony. I think that's a lot of garbage too.
I agree with you, and I hope they can get those things taken care of, and let's get back to getting these young people on the field, because that's what it's all about. I know Paul Giorgio has been working very hard to come up with some stats for us. And what do you have? As a matter of fact, these stats were given to us by Mr. Charlie O'Reilly and Mr. Lou DeFranzo, who's been giving us some excellent stats. Lou the stat man.
You ready? Well,
Hey,
if you go by stats, St. Peter's would seem to be way ahead in this game. They had 8 first downs to Bergen Catholic's 3. They have 21 carries for 84 yards. And Bergen's got 11 for 28. Passing, Bergen has got an edge. They've got 5 for 6 with McGovern and 79 yards. Goom is 3 for 8, 46 yards and 1 interception. Crucial interception too, by the way, in the end zone. Punts, though, big advantage for Bergen Catholic. 2 punts for 52.5 yards. St. Peter's 2 for 23, so a big advantage there in punts, which has given Prep bad field position, particularly in that second quarter. Fumbles, Bergen Catholic has lost the ball twice, but only lost it once. St. Peter's has not fumbled. Return yardage, another key stat for Bergen Catholic. 98 yards, 85 coming on Eric Lane's kickoff return. Prep's got 30 return yards. Penalties, Bergen Catholic 3 for 40. St. Peter's 2 for 10. And time of possession, St. Peter's has a big edge in 15 minutes, 37 seconds to 8 minutes, 23 seconds for Bergen Catholic. But again, the key stats there for Bergen Catholic are on the special teams, particularly the punts and the return yardage. 1 for a touchdown and the 2 punts that have kept the Prep at bay in their offensive end.
Right, Paul. And the other stat is that it's 13-13 at halftime. What do you want to say there, Vernon?
Well, that's the biggest stat of the day, 13-13, as the captains come back on the field. But I just wanted to mention some more Hudson County information. For those of you that don't know, the head football coach at Marist High School, Tom DeMayo, has resigned for personal reasons. First-year head coach. It's a very unfortunate situation. Joe Stinson, the assistant football coach at Hoboken High School, has been mentioned as one of the persons who might take over that spot. But outside of Bayonne and outside of Hoboken, there's also some mention in Jersey City of some coaching situations that might do some changes. Everything is at this point speculation. You know, we can talk about what's happening at Ferris, what's happening at Snyder. There's some speculation that there might be some coaching changes there. We don't want to get too much into it. We don't want to get ourselves in trouble. But keep your eyes and ears open now, because there could be some changes going on in Hudson County. If we can move from the football field, because Bruce is looking at me like, Vernon, how dare you? No, but we're talking about the basketball season. Hey, this is going to be the last football game that City 3 is doing for this year, and the next time you catch us, we'll be doing some basketball. And I'm telling you, the basketball season amounts to be a very exciting one, as we got some outstanding high school talent out there. But then to talk about the college situation, we've got 2 undefeated teams in Jersey City, being the Gothic Knights of Jersey City State and the Peacocks of St. Peter's St. Peter's College.
Yeah, we'll be covering both of those teams this year, along with all the high school teams in the Hudson County area. As we start the second half, Bergen Catholic will receive the ball first. And of course, this could be a key possession for them. 13-13 tie. Guma kicks off. Ball is picked up at the 15-yard line. Return, and number 37 returns it up to about the 32-yard line. Nice return, because the ball did take a short hop. He did have the presence of mind to return it to the 32-yard line, and that was Mike Cirillo. Mike Cirillo picks up 18 yards on that return. So we start the second half here, third quarter. First and 10, the Crusaders will put the ball in play, Paul.
Okay, they're coming out in their regular Delaware blue right wing set, we call it. They started the game with. Here comes Granda.
Handoff is to Taylor. Taylor has running room, and Taylor loses one tackle and is forced out of bounds by Mr. Tim Hawks after he picks up close to 11 yards on a play. So nice run by Taylor.
Okay, we talked about the Delaware sweep, which was the only successful running play for Bergen in the first half, and they just started with it and had some more success.
Tim Ryan was the gentleman who was the offensive guard who came out and assisted on that play with an excellent block to free Taylor for the first down for the Crusaders.
Yeah, as Paul has stated, here comes Granda, but then they just got away from Granda, and of course Taylor on that block was able to pick up 10 yards on the play and bring the ball out to the 44-yard line. So first and 10 from the 44. Handoff is to Ruda. Ruda picks up close to 6 yards on the play, gets the ball in the prep territory on the 49-yard line. So they seem to be blocking quite well at that point of attack on that particular play, Paul.
Yeah, just some of the things that I was going over at halftime that Bergen Catholic should do on offense. They should continue to throw the ball like they have when in the situations they've been throwing, which has worked, with those crossing patterns. They have been very successful. And they should keep running outside. It's been very effective for them.
Okay, second down, 5 yards, 6 yards to go.
Taylor.
Sweep, and Taylor has running room. And Taylor, Mr. Francesco held on to his foot, but again, second effort by Taylor. He picks up the first down. He picks up about 7 yards on that play and carries the ball to the prep 43-yard line.
He lost his shoe on that play, too, as he has to regain that on the possession. But it was an excellent run by Taylor for the first down.
That's right. You know, and Taylor's just a sophomore, 5'10", 170 pounds. So they're going to see this young man for 2 more years.
It's scary the type of things he can possibly do for the Crusaders in the years to come.
Okay, now first down for the Crusaders. And, of course, excellent quarterback like
Ruda.
Ruda up the middle. Oh, and again, nice play by Francesco. He was the only man there. He loses Francesco. That's 6 points.
Well, it's not real good to have Francesco making a lot of tackles. You know, you want your linemen and your linebackers to make the tackles, but when you've got your secondary making tackles, that only means one thing, and that the offense is picking up big yardage.
And that Rude is 5'9", 195 pounds. He's coming into this game. He had gained 753 yards rushing and had 5 touchdowns. So he's a powerful back. And Francesco, second down, 2 yards to go. There's Ruder again. And Ruda has the first down, and Francesco once again is in on the stop along with Brian McMullen. So Ruda seems to be getting ahead of steam up. And so now we have a first down, and they will have the ball on the 30-yard line of Prep.
Yeah, they've come out on fire here, and they're mixing their plays up nicely. They ran the Delaware sweep, then they came back with the straight dive up the middle, and they just had the lead to the left, halfback lead with Ruda going behind them. And all 3 plays were successful, so they may be wearing St. Peter's down a little bit.
As we see the crowd, and Prep is called a timeout. Look at this crowd. It's a capacity crowd, and the NJSIAA, the state officials, have to be very happy with this turnout. And this is good for Jersey City. They should come here with more state tournament games. This is an excellent facility at Caven Point. Ground crew has done an excellent job all year long here.
I was going to say, yeah, Bruce, if the state officials, if this is their initial visit to Caven Point, they have got to be really impressed with the facility here, because it's top-notch.
And you got to be impressed with our cameraman, there, Gar on the field, who gives you some excellent shots, and Nelson Shorter, who also does his job on the camera, along with Marilyn Vigilante, and quite a few others, as, you know, our own Joe Wisniewski.
What is that?
This Thursday on his sports talk show that comes on Sports Fan on Channel 51, he's going to have coverage of the All-American Wrestling from the Boys Club.
Okay.
Plus, Wisniewski's in a scuffle with Babyface Nelson.
Well, I guess I'm going to be
Nelly, I'm sorry,
TV.
Nelly. Well, she's going to put him in a full Nelson.
Here we go.
It's a first down, 10 yards to go for the Crusaders from the 30-yard line of the Marauders of St. Peter's Prep.
Taylor on the sweep.
Oh,
good spin.
Nice move by Taylor. Oh, and there was another man coming over the backside. It appeared as if Taylor was down, and he's going to be slow getting up. It seems to me that was a little late, that tackler.
No call either.
There was no call on that play, but a nice spin move by Taylor prior to being hit. Looks like on that hit there were several players for the Marauders. Was 42, Schroeder and maybe Margaret Thunder, as Taylor is still on the field. And as we see the coach from Bergen Catholic talking with the man with the white hat. Only sport where the bad man wears a white hat.
Yeah, we're going to show that one on the replay because you can see the late hit on Taylor after he made the run. A couple of St. Peter's players piled up on him. We're going to try to get that on the replay. But in the middle there, you can see almost right through the players there, the bald-headed man is Brett Stengel. He's the head coach of Bergen Catholic. There's the run by Taylor. And you see after he falls, 2 St. Peter's, including number 58 and number 51 for St. Peter's. And those 2 players.
One is Granda.
And the other is
getting
Gonzalez.
up, though.
And Orville Gonzalez. So Mr. Taylor. But you know, it's reminiscent of the old Jim Taylor from the Green Bay Packers. Used to get hit like that quite a bit. He used to run over people, though, of course. Okay, to drive this far, 6 yards, 45, 6 plays, 45 yards. Taylor has carried the ball 3 for 27 yards, and Ruda 3 for 17 yards, and there's been 3 first downs. And they've had the ball since this third quarter has begun. And there's the handoff to Ruda, and Ruda just runs over several people and picks up the first down. Powerful running back.
Yeah, they are picking up some good yards.
He's only 5'7", 170 pounds, is he?
No, Ruda is 5'9", 195 pounds. Averages about 4.7 yards per carry every time he touches the ball.
I don't know if he's 5'9".
Well, this is what they have, you know, so maybe he grew. So that's a first down. 8 minutes and 54 seconds to go in the third quarter. Handoff is to number 32, and that's the young man, Eric Lane, I do believe, who ran the 85-yard kickoff back. So Lane picks up a few yards on the play, and they have the ball around the Marauder 12-yard line. So the Crusaders themselves are now on a crusade, and they're showing you what it's all about since they received the ball here in the third quarter, Vern.
Very interesting. Eric Lane is number 32, who, like we mentioned, he did run that kickoff earlier in the game for a touchdown. He's out of Nanuet, New York, so it's kind of interesting to see him come all the way from Nanuet to Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, Bergen has had some players from New York in the past, and Eric Lane is another one of the long line of them.
Okay, we have a second down. 7 yards to go for Crusader first down. Option play.
Mullen's got a shot.
And he misses him as McGovern. McGovern shows you his versatility as he eluded several tackles, was able to pick up some yardage on the play when he could have been thrown for loss. And there is a flag on the play. Let's see what the flag is going to, what's the preliminary indication?
Mayfield is going to let us know.
Personal foul.
They called it a little late, but they called it. They should have called it on the left 2 plays ago.
I agree with you, Paul, but you see that, again, this is an emotionally packed game. And, you know, speaking about emotion, could that be affecting that layoff? Could that be affecting the emotional level of St. Peter's, that 3-week layoff?
I don't know. They seem pretty pumped up at the beginning of the game. What may be affecting them is conditioning.
Okay.
Because now we're into the second half. They may not be in the condition that they were in 3 weeks ago. It's a possibility. I don't know if Richardson would allow for that, but, you know, it's very hard to push kids when they haven't played in 3 weeks.
Okay, we've got a third down, 1 yard to go for our first down. For the Crusader, nice run by Lane. And Lane is forced out of bounds near the first down marker, but this sophomore shows you that he can really elude tackles, and he has durability there. Nice run on his part, nifty footwork.
He's very strong, too, it appears.
Yes, he is.
Kenny Ferranti came out of the linebacker slot and made an excellent open field tackle on Lane and pretty much saved Lane from scoring a touchdown.
Let's see what they're very close to that first down marker. Don't see well, it doesn't look like they've picked it up. They must be a few inches short of that first down. So, again, they have the ball deep in Marauder territory. The ball is around the 7-yard line. Or let's make it to 6.5. So they probably need a half, maybe 6 inches to go for a first down, Paul. And again, the Marauders will be tested. They have to really get tough now. And that conditioning is what you hit on the point there.
It may be a factor.
It could be a big factor. Sure. You know, when you have that 3-week layoff and all you're doing is, like Rich told me, it was hard trying to get them to practice, for 3 weeks. So he had to practice an hour a day, and then this week they get back up to the 2-hour level. But then they still didn't play anybody.
It's kind of similar to us. I mean, we haven't been doing a football game in about 2-3 weeks, so it took us a while to get the intensity going. But we're doing just fine.
Oh well, this game is really action-packed. Now there's a third down situation.
No, it's fourth down.
Okay, fourth down. Excuse me.
Ruta
Fourth
here.
down.
Or Lane, either one. They're both strong.
Or a quarterback keeper from McGovern. I mean,
That's what it is.
It's a quarterback keeper. And let's see what happened.
Depends on where they blew it.
Yeah, it depends on where they spot the ball.
Yeah, his forward progress, I think, got him the first down, but I think it's going to be, like you guys said, where they spot the football.
Well, you know, that's up to the officials. You know how they always do this. We see everybody there.
I think they have the first.
They untangle the huddle. And that's the key.
First down.
First down. An emphatic signal from the referee. First down. So 13-13 on the 5-yard line. And, of course, Granda, Booker, they all have to dig down deep now to try to stop this Benzeha. So, of course, this is going to be a crucial test for the Marauders right now near Paul and Vern.
Should be a very interesting play right here on the side of Bergen Catholic. They can.
The situation last time they ran the sweep, but Taylor's not in the game now, so they may stay with the inside stuff.
Just might, you know, with that quarterback McGovern, he handles that ball so well.
There's Ruta, and Prep is ready for that.
Ruta went nowhere as he is stopped immediately. Just Brian McMullen on the play, and Jim Francesco, and then Ante Benzeha was also in on that stop.
I'm really surprised that they went into the teeth of the St. Peter's defense. I kind of expected them to maybe run, you know, something to the outside, maybe some sort of option, but I kind of think they should use the open side of the field, because if you run into the strength of the St. Peter's defense, it's not going to really get you anywhere.
You better believe it, and of course, look for that option play on this down, second down. But
the waggle left looks like a nice call here too, faking to Lane right and then going waggle left.
Okay, well, let's look and see. As one of the players a little over anxious on the preps, that's number 51, Orville Gonzalez. Looks like he was the player who came into the neutral zone. Yeah. So that's a big play right now.
Well, it looked like Bergen went on a longer count, which was a very good move. And Orville Gonzalez, who, as we mentioned, is only playing in his second or third game as a starter, and a little over anxious and jumped offside.
Yeah, replacing the injured Bill Hoffman, who's out for the season, but Orville has done a pretty good job. You know, this drive has consumed almost 6 minutes.
That's right.
So Prep hasn't touched the ball in the second half thus far because of the drive, the offensive drive of the Crusaders. There's the option.
There's the bootleg.
Yeah, bootleg. He's moving close to the end zone. I don't think he made it. I think his knee.
Bergen Catholic says touchdown, but I think the referees have to make the final say-so on this one.
Although sometimes, as you notice in professional football, you can sometimes do something the referee.
Kind of persuade the ref on that one.
Yeah, but this didn't work here. As the knee, wherever the knee goes down, that's where the ball's supposed to be spotted. Except when Randall Cunningham is carrying the ball for the Eagles.
It's a good effort by McMullen too, in staying with McGovern.
Better believe it. So it's.
Yeah, we're going to see the replay of that particular run by McGovern. Just missed it. Just missed getting into the end zone.
Yeah, just missed it, but they have the ball at the half-inch line. Second down, goal to goal. And Ruta scores.
Ruta's in.
So that will be Ruta's 6th touchdown of the season. So that now the Crusaders take the lead for the first time in this game. 5 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the third quarter as they'll attempt the extra point. It scores 19-13 Crusaders over the Marauders. And that drive consumed 6 minutes and 1 second.
I think most coaches would love a drive like that where it takes up most of the clock and you end up scoring. Nothing to argue about that one.
Well, this is a great drive, and they mixed their plays up very well.
John Danello for the extra point try. It's up, and it is good. So with that extra point attempt, the Crusaders widen their lead to 20-13. So now the question is, can the Prep Marauders mount their own drive to come back into this game?
Should be very interesting, but I can tell you this, having a 6-minute drive end up in a touchdown, that's got to take a lot of the wind out of the sails of St. Peter's, because I'm sure they wanted to come back out of that locker room and get the football and score as soon as possible. But Bergen Catholic used the clock and used it effectively, and the 1-yard run by Ruta resulted in the 20-13 scores you see there on that fantastic screen.
First time, this is the first time that the Crusaders have had the lead. As we see here, that drive was 14 plays, 66 yards, consumed 6 minutes and 1 second. As Danello will kick off, we have Margaritunda and Francesco. No, that's Hawks back deep. They've moved McKay's up short as the wind blows the ball off the tee, and Danilo just says, "I'll kick it anyway." I mean, they should have done something with that. Right, it could have been called the layup game in a situation like that, but ball blows off the tee, and
I guess the whistle was blown because no one reacted to pick up the ball either.
They certainly didn't. As we have an overcast day, it looks like we may get some of that snow later on this evening, as was forecasted by Al Roker and several other people, and Vernon Prince.
You know, I was looking forward to have the snow fall during the game. I mean, snow and football seems to be perfect go-together. It's like peanut butter and jelly or something.
Yeah. Well, it would be nice to have one of those choke sandwiches right now, to tell you the truth.
Hawks has to come off the field because, oh, no, okay, he's throwing his equipment off there, his strap loose.
We don't have Francesco back this time. We have Margaret Tunda back.
Ferranti again.
Ferranti again. Ferranti feels the ball, and he is stopped. There's a flag on the play. There's a late flag on the play. As
I would wonder at this point, they kicked the Ferranti 4 times, and maybe if the prep special teams coach or Rich Hansen would make a change there, because they keep. I mean, Kenny Ferranti's a tough kid. We know he's a good linebacker. He's an overachiever, but he's not a kick returner. When they keep kicking the ball right at him, maybe they get a little bit better running back in there.
Yeah, well, I thought they changed around because we didn't see, as we see Rich Hansen talking to Tony Guma, and believe me, as long as you have Tony Guma on your side, anything's possible. That young man has pulled prep out of a lot of holes early in the season. He's always come back. He never gives up. He's quite an individual to have.
Speaking of holes, St. Peter's has dug one deep for themselves right now because on that kickoff there was a clip, and it knocked back 15 yards from the spot of the original. Ball.
And they have the ball deep now in their own territory on the 22-yard line. 1st and 10. St. Peter's from the I formation as they shift now. Schroeder in the backfield along with McCahey. Handoff. It's Schroeder. And he'll open the hole. What a hole. I mean, and he was stopped on the play by number 37. And that's what you wanted. That's Mike Cerullo. But what a hole. I mean, Orville Gonzalez and a few people they threw some blocks there.
So they've only gone to Schroeder a couple times today. And
I'd like to see that one on
run the ball well.
Because the hole was
he certainly has. What a big play. 3-man front.
That's what opened up the hole. The blocking was there by the pillars of power, as they call them. It was a 3-man line, and Schroeder got big.
Schroeder again on a fake counter.
As we have another counter play there.
That was the double dive, Bruce.
And number 43, Roger Kotlars on the stop as Schroeder. And again, Schroeder's key because Schroeder this is his first game back from that ankle injury. And Schroeder is showing you, hey, this is what you got to do. Reach down deep. Give the ball to the guys that got you here. And they're doing it.
What's happening, Bruce, is they're running that double dive like they ran against North Bergen. The linebackers here also are very active. They like to fly. They're keying Mulcahy, and Schroeder's breaking free without they're not even having to block the linebackers sometimes.
Well, I tell you what, as we see Francesco in motion, they have the ball.
Good block by Granda.
And McCahey is going. McCahey busts a tackle. And McCahey is just caught from behind on the 10-yard line.
If we get a replay on this, you watch Danny Granda's kick-out block on the defensive end.
But I would agree with you more on that one.
Roger Kotlars on the play.
Oh, yeah, here it comes. Here comes the replay because you can see the block by Granda. It's an excellent block.
Keon Granda, beautiful kick-out block on Taylor.
Number 54 is Granda.
Yes, and Kotlars with the saving tackle. But Rich Hansen has said something to that offensive line there because they are blowing out people now.
Anything to pick up your spirits are nice long,
you better believe it.
Long runs will always pick up your spirits.
So they have the ball on the Bergen Catholic 10-yard line. Schroeder, this time, he picks up 4 or 5 yards on his own. I mean, he just kept driving with that leg.
He was in a scrum that time, it looked like.
And he was not to be denied as Kitchell was in on the stop along with Michael Colte. And it looks like, again, number 43, Roger Kotlars. That Kotlars has played an excellent game also.
Very good player.
So we have a 2nd down, about 5 yards to go for a 1st down. Again, the Marauders, I guess that being down 20-13, they've answered our questions how they're going to come back. They've come right at them.
They're in the power I now, which they like to run that 26B out of.
Oh, and
they ran a counter out of it.
Ran the counter. And nice stop initially by number 74, who made the initial hit for Bergen Catholic. And that play, he stopped that play because had he not been there, that would have been a touchdown, Vern.
Hawks had an excellent run in the play. We remember Hawks earlier in the season with an excellent game against Marist, and he did some good running on that play. Picked up about 2 or 3 yards all on his own power.
Yeah, but Dominic Pickenich was the guy who really made the key play there. Without Pickenich being there, that was 6 points. Nice play by Pickenich. So we've got a key third down, about a yard and a half to go for a first down.
Schroeder, second effort.
Takes it in. It's close to the end zone. There's no signal yet.
No indication from the referee, so I don't think he made it.
He's got to be very close.
It's not in. It is a first down, though.
It is.
Well, that's the key. So they have the ball at the half-inch line, just like the Crusaders had on the previous drive. With 3 minutes, about 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, St. Peter's Prep Marauders, they're knocking on the door. So they score here, just an extra point to tie the game. And again, I'll play coach with the Paul George. You'll see what he'd go for. He's in. Schroeder's in. So Schroeder scores. As they had a trip on, as you saw, one of the linebackers coming in the blitz, but they ran the ball just away from him. So Schroeder, deservedly so, scores the touchdown.
Well, I can tell you this, Bruce, a key situation comes now with the point after. And if I'm not mistaken, every point after attempt on this side of the field has not been good because of the wind, because of the blocking, and it's very interesting, and it's very important that you see the touchdown run there by Schroeder. But be very interesting and to see whether or not the Marauders can convert on this extra point to tie the ball game.
And Walker for the fake, too. Who knows? They may try to pass on this play. As we saw them do that.
Big point.
He gets it up.
Looks
and
like
it is good. So Guma, extra point, ties the ball game. 2 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the third quarter. The score is the Marauders of St. Peter's Prep 20 and the Crusaders of Bergen Catholic 20. You couldn't ask for a better ball game.
No, not really. Vernon raised a good point, and it hurt Bergen Catholic. He said, you know, they have to maybe watch for a fake here, and it looked like that's what Bergen was doing because they kind of laid back. Now, we know that Prep has had a penchant for going for 2-pointers the last few weeks. Bergen may have had that in their mind. They really didn't rush the kicker hard.
Not at all.
As a result, Guma had plenty of time to get the kick off, and he made it perfect.
And he got his foot into that. And, you know, remember that play against North Bergen when they sent McMullen out?
Yes.
No points, and he was wide open for that 2-point conversion.
I tell you, when the game started, because of the weather and the conditions, I thought it was going to be a low-scoring contest. But we've got 40 points in today's ball game.
Oh, yeah, we've got 14 minutes and 44 seconds left to go in this game to decide who will go into the finals against either Del Barton or St. Joseph's of Montvale. As we have Guma about to kick off for the Marauders.
Got to try and get some
field he kicks it low.
Yeah, but
and it's
being
89
around.
And they pick it up on the 30-yard line. That ball took some tricky bounces there. And perhaps that was good strategy on the part of St. Peter's.
You know what, Bruce? It's the best field position that St. Peter's has gotten against Bergen Catholic on a kickoff.
Right, because the Bergen Catholic specialty teams in terms of returning the ball have been very good thus far. So Bergen Catholic will start the ball. This is the deepest point which they've had the ball on their own 30-yard line. First down with clock running. Of course, tie ball game. We've got a brand new ball game. It seems like the Marauders are playing with a different level of intensity now.
Prep's got to find a way to stop that outside run now.
Well, that's what they have to do. But, of course, you've got a great option quarterback there, Nat McGovern. He's shown us so many different dimensions. Ruder, and he is stopped.
He is nailed.
He is nailed at the line of scrimmage. And that looks like
Brond, I think, was the guy.
Brondo was in on the play, and he stopped them. No gain on that play. Second down and 10 yards to go.
Like I said earlier, you know, it seems as though when Bergen Catholic runs inside to the St. Peter's defense, they're not getting anywhere. But it's the outside run that's
what Fred Stengel was talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
and now he's got Jim Taylor out of the game, so he's either going to have to try and use Eric Lane outside, or he's going to have to give that up.
You know, Eric Lane, though, I guess, unless he just got tired, it didn't seem like he had that much outside speed when he ran that kickoff back. So he's probably just a good inside runner. McGovern.
There's the waggle.
Rolls right, fires again over the middle.
Almost picked off by St. Marie.
Looks like he had a better option going to 43 because where he threw that ball, there were two defenders for the Marauders all over the receiver.
Yeah, but a lot of times, you know, high school quarterback, as good as they are, you have a predetermined receiver many times.
That's right.
And that's maybe who he was looking for. In that case, number 34, Paul Flowers.
Usually you're talking with the high school quarterback. At best, they have two options.
Usually.
When they're passing down the field.
Right.
You know, we don't get these fantastic quarterbacks who have 3 and 4.
Want to give
This
him
is
that.
a big series for St. Peter's. A big play here. Third down, 9 to go. They stopped them here. They're in good shape. They're going to get the win in the next quarter also.
That's exactly right, Paul. That's an excellent point. So third down.
Ooh.
Oh, almost
Somebody
movement there.
moved.
Just moved. Just got. And he rolls right.
And it's
Rolls left,
thrown
throws
away.
right, and drew it away. Looks like there was just a miscommunication there. Rolled to his left and threw it to no one.
Here's a case sometimes a high school football coach, I think, gets too cute. McGovern is much better rolling to his right than he is to his left. Much better. Okay, you want to try and be tricky and fool the defense, but why roll on a big play like that? Why roll a kid out left when he does a much better job going right and throws a better pass? You saw McGovern did not throw a good pass that time.
And Carlos
sometimes the coaches overcoach, you know.
Yeah, Carlos was wide open. He was picked up by Granda, and Carlos has a little bit more speed than Granda, and he was wide open. But as you mentioned, McGovern was not in a good passing situation.
McGovern to punt. Gets off a
banger, but they're going to get a return on this one.
And that is Francesco around the 21-yard line. Francesco
good effort by Jim Francesco.
Brings it back to the 32-yard line. So that's about 11-yard or 12-yard return. But again, this McGovern really kicks the ball well. Great play, but the prep defense tightened up after scoring that touchdown.
Sure did.
They didn't allow Bergen Catholic to go anywhere. So.
Again, a big key, I think, though, is with having Jim Taylor out of the lineup. Fred Stengel is not as quick to go to the sweep game, which was hurt in St. Peter's. So that injury has played a big part.
I mean, when you have Jim Taylor averaging 4 yards a carry and he's not in there, that is a big loss for the offensive strategy for
As we see, Prep put the ball first down and 10 from their own 32-yard line. And there's Schroeder again. And Schroeder this time picks up about 5 yards as we see Booker blocking, McMullen on the block, but he was stopped by Michael Cote, who's played a great game too, and of course Mr. Pickenich. Now, how much time did that touchdown drive consume?
Okay, the drive for St. Peter's was 7 plays. They went 78 yards, 3:15 it took off the clock. Schroeder had 6 carries for 47 of those yards.
Wow.
Okay, and he only had 1 carry in the first half. So the game plan obviously has changed for St. Peter's. They saw something inside there.
Well, second down, 4 yards to go. There's like a mix-up. Guma still eludes several tackles. There seemed to be a mix-up in the backfield there. They're lucky there was not a fumble. It's number 76 for the Crusaders. Greg Noble forced that play to go nowhere. But although Guma still picked up a yard or two in the play,
well, what happens there, Bruce, when you run the option, you ride the fullback, okay, for like a count. And if there's any kind of penetration and the fullback gets hit, the quarterback's got to be sure to get that ball out of there. Sometimes it screws up the exchange, and he gets stuck there. And that's what it slows everything down.
Well,
that's
he got stuck there, I'll tell you that.
That's what happened.
This may be the last play. Oh, they didn't get the play off. So as we start the fourth quarter, 12 minutes to go in the semifinal Parochial A state tournament game. 20-20 tie.
You mentioned about the offensive strategy possibly changing for St. Peter's. Earlier in the week, Coach Fred Stengel was fearful of the power of St. Peter's, and it seems as though St. Peter's is utilizing its power, especially in the third quarter, where they've been running Schroeder right up the middle, and Mulcahy has been going right up the middle. They've not really gone outside, but they're using, as we call them, the pillars of power, the Grandas, the Bookers, and they are the guys who are opening the big holes for Mulcahy and Schroeder.
And someone will win this game. There will not be a tie as we see the crowd. This game has to be decided today, and they'll go to an interesting tiebreaker should it end that way at the end of the regulation play.
And we mentioned that the winner of this game will play the winner of the St. Joe's Del Barton. It's interesting that Bergen Catholic would probably like to play St. Joe's since they pasted them last week, 28-0, and St. Peter's would probably like to play Del Barton since Del Barton did a number on them last year in the state playoff game.
Well, you know, in that Del Barton St. Joe's game, you have to probably favor St. Joe's. They beat a team like Passaic, and Passaic is some team, I tell you.
Yeah,
you know,
they're a very good football team.
Do you think they can beat the New York Jets, maybe?
Well, I don't know. Look out, Jim Walton.
Okay, Bergen has moved up into their tight alignment like a 6-2.
Handoff to McCahey, and McCahey is going nowhere. As he throws it, he stopped, though. He stopped on that play. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. First play of the fourth quarter. 4th down, so Guma will probably punt the ball away. You know, that was a dangerous play, though.
Paul Mulcahy, like you mentioned earlier, has got a loose screw, and like as he was going down, he flipped it back to Guma, but he was already brought down, and the play was ruled dead.
But Bergen did a nice thing there. They jumped into that tight alignment and really overcrowded the area, and Mulcahy had nowhere to run.
And in a situation like that, that's where that tight alignment worked to their advantage. Oh, here you go with Mulcahy.
Mulcahy thus far has 80 yards on 15 carries, so he's having himself a pretty good day.
50 yards away from having 1,000 yards for the season, and that would be a tough 50 yards away this Bergen Catholic team is playing. Punt, oh, it's a short one. Let's see what it goes. It takes a prep bounce.
Oh, it's a better roll.
Takes a great roll.
15.
That's that wind that helps.
It helped him there. So that's a great. He got a good bounce there because initially it was about like a 20-yard punt. It took a 23-yard roll.
Turned out to be a 43-yard punt.
Great. They'll take that anyway, anytime. So now Bergen Catholic has never had themselves back this far in their own territory. They have the ball at their own 15-yard line. If the prep defense can hold pretty tight here, you never know what can happen.
Then again, like we mentioned, on the side of Bergen Catholic, look for them to run outside. We haven't seen Taylor come back. You see Hansen, a very concerned man here in the fourth quarter.
Okay, something else that Prep has done in this half, they've taken Benzihar out on defense. They're putting DeFolio at the tackle and Orville Gonzalez at the nose guard because of his quickness.
Well, okay, that's a good move for them. It seems to have worked to their advantage after that first drive by Bergen Catholic to start the second half. Okay. Again, Mo's right.
He's going to run this one. He's running all the way.
Right, but McMullen made a great play on that. He played off his block. McMullen made a very good play on that because it seemed like he had more running room. McMullen played off his block and was in there on the tackle.
That was a run all the way from McGovern. He wasn't looking to throw that ball at all.
And I think those are the type of runs that Bergen Catholic has to achieve for them to have success against the St. Peter's defense.
Now it's second down and 5 yards, about 5.5 yards to go for a first down as they have the ball on their own 17, 18-yard line. So they have a man out wide.
Taylor is still not in the game.
No, not back in yet.
No,
they may use Flowers if they go wide.
Handoff to Lane. Lane runs off his right side. Lane picks up about 2 yards on the play. And, he seems like he's a very durable, strong runner, this Lane.
He's going to get you the inside yards. He'll pick up to 4 and 5 yards per carry, but don't ask him to run the outside, sweeps because his speed is not there.
Yes, sophomore, 6 foot, 170 pounds, and the young man's going to grow, of course. It's a third down situation, 2 yards to go. They've got to get the ball out to their own 29-yard line for a first down. No, I'm sorry, the 27-yard line for a first down.
I think they're going to go to Ruta here, Bruce. They need that short yardage. Let's see what happens.
I'm looking past, guys.
Rolls out to his
you're
left.
Right, Vernon.
Throws it.
No,
he didn't catch it. It just hit the ground. Just hit the ground. But who forced that play was number 11, Brian McMullen.
Having a terrific game.
Oh,
he really is.
He's all over the field.
Yeah, he's been an overachiever all season, Bruce. We've been talking about Brian McMullen. He was a questionable starter at the beginning of the season, and now he has turned into one of the stellar performers on the Prep defense.
Well, let's go. This is his first.
Yeah, we're going to take another look at that play.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see number 11.
He forced it, and then you see Ruta did not have possession of the ball, and the refs confirmed on that.
Now you got to watch here for the long count.
Well, this is an interesting point because the wind's to his face, but he gets hit in
the
wind.
See what happens when that wind changes.
The wind, and it goes out of bounds. Reminiscent of the Jersey City State St. Peter's college game. Remember when the kicker kicked the ball, came right back into his face?
Back to his face.
Well, I had mentioned before, Vernon and Bruce, that you got to face that wind. That's a different ball game. What you want to try to do when the wind is like that is kick a low ball.
That's right.
It's a difficult thing to do. It's something you got to work on in practice. I don't know if Bergen does that, but you make your drop longer and you try and kick the ball lower to the ground. But
I got a good idea. Maybe the punter can kick the ball up in the air and it'll come back in his hands and then he'll take it and run it for a first down.
well, Prep now has a first down deep in Bergen Catholic territory. They have the ball on the Bergen Catholic 29-yard line. Handoff to Schroeder. Schroeder goes right up the middle, and he is stopped on the play by number 76. So it's 76 on the play, and that is Greg Noble. But he picks up 7 yards on the play. So Ted Schroeder, boy, the Marauders are happy to see him back.
You know, it's funny, Fred Stengel, before the, when I was talking to him earlier this week, said, what do you think of Schroeder? And I said, well, he was banged up a little bit. He goes, I'm not that impressed with him. I think today he's impressed with him.
He's got to be.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Schroeder's, you know, now they'll know. He doesn't even have to have an American Express card. They'll know Mr. Schroeder's up there. Mix-up on the play, but Goomer is going to be thrown for a loss. That was just a mix-up on that play. Number 79 was there. Tom Foley, who is from North Bergen, by the way, makes the stop. What happened there, Paul? It just seems like it...
It looked like it might have been an X fake in the backfield, a double fake, and Goomer didn't get the ball out of Mulcahy's hands in time because it looked like he was ready to, he was pulling it out looking to throw.
Okay. All right, there was a mix-up there, but it looks like it was quite a fake. Was it fake? Paul Goomer out there.
Well, last week, the Golden Griffins, Queen of Peace, had 3 broken plays that went for like 30, 40 yards. Again, because of that over-aggressive Bergen Catholic defense.
Okay, we got 7 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in this game. 20-20 tie.
Option
Goomer,
left. Right.
Rose was right. Goomer has running room, and Goomer is... Oh, what a nice run by Goomer, close to the first down. Looks like he has the first down. Oh, what a great individual effort on the part of Tony Goomer.
Nice the type of ball player he is. I'm sorry, that's the type of ball player he is. When the chips are down and you need that big play, Tony Goomer comes to the occasion for that.
He also had the pitch back if he needed it. That's how well the play was run.
But he was popped on that play, and he didn't fumble. He's a tough kid. I mean, you know, this guy's a tough all-around. You know, and he's also, and I always have to say this about the young man, he's also a good shortstop.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know, I have to say, first down, 10 yards. A handoff to McKay. McKay has a block.
Booker just ran somebody out.
What a run and a block by Booker. Booker leveled number 13. Looks like number 13. He leveled him.
No, it was Robinson he hit, Bruce.
Oh, he blasted him.
He hit Scott Robinson and sent him for a ride.
But Paul McCahey scores the touchdown.
15 yards.
15-yard run for McCahey. So McCahey, that's his second touchdown of the game. And, of course, nice block by Mr. Keith Booker, number 54.
There it is on the replay. Watch the block. Get that fan out of there.
What a nice play. That was 4 plays, 22 yards, 15-yard run by McCahey. So McCahey needs another 15 yards. No, he needs more than that. He needs another 35 yards to get his 1,000-yard season. I'm sorry, Paul. I can't give it to you that way.
What math class were you taking in?
No, I was just getting excited. It's 20 with 6 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in this game. The St. Peter's Prep Marauders now lead 26-20.
Now you wonder, will they go for 2 or will they go for the extra point?
That's why I think Hansen called a timeout. I mean, he's going to discuss this because if they go for the 2, and should Bergen Catholic score, that would force them to go for the 2 to tie the game.
I like to go for the 1 because of the way the 4-down situation is played.
Well,
Prep is the better power team. You figure they can get the 4 yards in 10 yards in 4 plays. Bergen would have a little bit more trouble on offense. You know, at this juncture of the game, I think Prep should play for the 1-pointer.
Well, you never know. They might try that play they did against North Bergen with McMullen coming out there for the pass for the 2 points. You know.
Yeah, but don't forget Bergen saw the North Bergen.
Oh yeah, but you know they might.
Rich Hansen has a penchant for going for the 2-pointers. I mean, we've seen
he's going for it here.
And as you say, he's going for it here, and I think it's a gutsy call.
Well, he said he's in. Well, of course, you're in this game to win. There's no tomorrow.
You're going to see that same play, fellas. I think Bruce was right.
You might just see it. There he goes, rolls. But it's to McCahey. And McCahey scores. So the 2-point conversion is good. 28-20. And Rich Hansen does it again.
Mr. 2-pointer.
Mr. 2-pointer.
Here's what he did on that play. Now, before he ran the 43 counter fake to Timmy Hawks. This time he faked that and threw off it. And really had Bergen Catholic confused. That's the 3rd variation off that set.
And Mulcahy got behind Scott Robinson, and it was easy goings from there as Goomer lofted it over Robinson's head into the hands of Paul Mulcahy for the 2-point conversion.
Well, far be it for us to criticize Rich Hansen. Every time he goes for that 2-pointer, he seems to pull it off.
Well, we've got 6 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in this game. The Marauders have gone on their own crusade and have taken the lead 28-20. In this game. So let's see. You've got a dynamic quarterback like McGovern on the side of Bergen Catholic, so you never know. Anything can happen. Now, you think that Guma will kick the ball on the ground once again, Paul?
He may. I would.
Yeah, so would I, because Bergen Catholic does a nice... Well, he kicks it. Line drive.
Really short.
And he picks it up at the 30-yard line, catches a line shot, brings it up to around the 39. That was a line shot.
Yeah.
I don't think that was Guma's intention.
Not to get it that short. No.
I think he wanted it deeper in the territory to give Bergen Catholic, more yardage to try to score that touchdown. So right now, Bergen Catholic is not in that bad field position.
No, they're not.
I mean, we have seen a 6-minute drive by Bergen Catholic before.
Right. We certainly have, and we get, and the wind too is going in this direction can play havoc with the ball. But this McGovern showed he has a gun for an arm.
Yeah, he threw a 50-yarder into the wind in the first quarter.
He certainly did. So first down, 10 yards to go from their own 39-yard line. Crucial drive for the Crusaders. As Ruder carries the ball for about 2 yards as he's on the right side of the line and stopped on the left side by a host of, there's McMullen in there once again, along with number 73 for the Prepsters in on the stop. So this is second down. Joe DeFoglio. We got a second down. Well, he picked up 3 on that play. So it's second down, 7 yards to go. And of course, every play is crucial for the Crusaders.
You can't get away from the fact that losing Jim Taylor has hurt Bergen Catholic, though. It's taken away their outside game.
There's no question about that. But they have to rise to the occasion. Handoff
the sweep with
to
Lane.
Lane runs into his own man.
Got it back.
He got it back. He ran into his own man.
And I also believe number 54, Keith Booker, got his hand in on Lane also.
Seemed like he ran into the back of his own man, off the block. It wasn't expecting it. He was lucky he had the presence of mind to not to fumble that ball. It's an official's timeout as we have a third down now for Bergen Catholic. They lost yardage on that play. So they're back to their own 37-yard line. So third down, 12 yards to go.
No, go ahead, Paul.
Since that first series, the Bergen Catholic came out and moved the ball right down the field. They haven't really done anything. So the Prep Marauders have really risen to the occasion here. I think they're showing their superior strength on the inside, even without Scott Prusco. They have some big, strong bodies there, and they've taken away this Bergen Catholic inside and outside running game right now.
And on a 3rd and 12 situation, you'd like to see Bergen Catholic, if they want to get that first down, to run to the open side of the field. That's running towards us.
Right.
And I think you might see a play of that nature, or you're going to see a pass from Dave McGovern.
That's right. I would expect a pass down, third down from McGovern. Third down situation for them. 12 yards to go. Throws over the middle, and he has him open for the reception. In there for the first down. Nice throw. I mean, that was a bullet.
Yeah, very nice pass.
And 34 is the receiver on that play.
Paul Flowers.
Paul Flowers. So he fired a bullet, and they answered that. He has the ball in Prep territory. 4 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in this game.
Not exactly a textbook pattern. You had 2 receivers standing right next to each other, but luckily there wasn't coverage there in the area, so McGovern had a choice.
Yeah, but he zipped that ball in there between 2 Prep defenders. Excellent throw. So this is a first down.
There's Lane.
And Lane.
Good job.
They stacked that play up there. Again, you've got Paul DeFloglio, you've got Keith Booker.
Who got up off the bottom there. That was Danny Granda.
And Danny Granda. So, Danny Granda, who's also tied for the lineman of the year by the 5th Quarter Club. He was tied with the young man from North Bergen, Mike Anderson.
Right.
So there was a tie there. I mean, Granda does everything very well. And this is definitely a crucial second down play with 10 yards to go. Everything they do now for Bergen Catholic, because if Prep stops them here, in all likelihood the game would be over.
Toss left.
Lane on the carry. Lane leads the tackle. Lane still keeps his footing, and Lane is finally forced out of bounds. He eluded 3 tacklers, was finally forced out of bounds by Francesca.
And that's why Bergen Catholic is here in this state playoff game. I mean, they are not a very weak team. I mean, when they are challenged, they will always rise to the occasion. We're going to catch that run on the replay, because that was an excellent run by Lane, as he broke a couple of tackles on that one.
Yes.
Broke about 2 or 3 tackles on the play. But like I said, when the Crusaders are challenged, they usually rise to the occasion.
Oh, now, they have it on the Prep 30-yard line. First down. Handoff.
Ruder
with the ball. Ruder Schroeder just keeps driving with his legs, keeps driving, and it takes two people. It takes Granda and Schroeder to finally bring him down. You know, in that previous play, Lane eluded a tackle from Granda, which is unusual because once Granda wraps you, it's all over.
It's all over.
But you know that instant replay again, Lamar, the replay star. But Frank DeLeo, one of our engineers, also does a great job there. Not often we give Frank credit, but Frank does an outstanding job.
Yeoman's job.
Yeah, yeoman's job is right. Now they have a second down, 3 yards to go. They have to get the ball to the prep 20 for a first down. The Crusaders are driving. Hand off to Ruda. Look at that power. He just drives over the right side of that line and picks up the first down. Stopped by Tim Hawks and Jan Francesco. So, first down, 2 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the game. Should they score, Paul, here? Should they get the ball in the zone? Of course, they'd have to go for the two-point conversion.
Yes, you have to. Interesting, a couple plays ago, Lane made that sweep. Brian McMullen came off the line and came out and doubled on the wide receiver. I think Rich Hansen was anticipating a pass play out here. And it was like Bergen Catholic had the perfect play call. They ran a toss to their fullback, to their tailback, and there was no defensive end there.
It's almost as if they had somebody in Rich Hansen's mind when he called that play.
I don't know.
But there was a timeout call, as you see Rich Hansen on the field, scores 28-20 in the semifinal Parochial A game. Of course, the winner of this game goes on to the final round for the state championship.
It's an unenviable task to play one of those two teams.
Definitely nail-biting time.
And for now, yeah, but we're looking ahead right now.
Oh, yeah.
Del Barton and St. Joe's Montville, I wouldn't want to face either one of them, really.
Well, there's another Hudson County team in the semifinal game today, and that's Hoboken. They're playing Fairlawn at Hoboken with the back of the year, Dwayne Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's going to be an interesting game there. And Fairlawn, of course, was the upset winner over North Bergen.
That's right.
Okay, what Prep's got to do here now, Bruce, if Bergen's going to score, Prep's got to make sure they eat time off the clock. If they can take time off the clock, then they're not going to get a chance to get that ball back again and go for the winning score.
As we see the crowd, and then we come up with a first down play.
There's
and
a
toss
right.
back to Lane. Lane is stopped again. He picks up about 3 yards, but there's Brian McMullen, Jem Francesco, and Dan Granda. So he had quite a few people there, but you know, that McMullen has played some game today, Paul. I mean, he's been all over the place.
Yeah, he really has. He's had a fantastic year. As we said, he's an overachiever. He wasn't touted as a star player early in the season, but he's really come around.
But, you know, you've got to have somebody. That's been the mark of Prep this year. There's always someone different in the game who's going to do something for them to help them win the ball games. So we have a second down, 8 yards to go. Fake, inside, handoff to Ruda, and he's stopped by who stopped that play was Joe DeFoglio, number 73 on the stop there. Nice play.
It's an excellent
play. Nice play on the part of DeFoglio, though, Laverne.
Yes, it's a very good read by DeFoglio to come up, because it was an excellent fake by McGovern to Lane, who he faked for the outside sweep.
Well, we've got a minute, 40 seconds left to go in the football game, with the Marauders holding an 8-point lead.
I tell you, Bergen Catholic is in very good field position to score that touchdown.
They're in their option formation again now. Be careful here.
Crucial third down play. And there's the option. Fake, rolls out,
Lane.
And Lane drops the pass. Lane drops the touchdown pass. Lane just dropped the ball. That was touchdown.
That was a touchdown.
There's a case again with Jim Taylor out. He was leading the team in receptions going into the game. He's not out there now. They have to go to the other man. He doesn't make the play.
But you see that the quarterback comes over and says, look, no problem. We got one more down here. You know, this is sophomore. They just happened to drop it, and I think he was trying to run before he had the ball there.
I think he thought he had a touchdown. He was kind of elated at the fact and did not concentrate on holding on to the football.
Well, this is it. This is the season right here on the line for the Crusaders. Let's see what the Prep Marauders do with their defensive unit. Fourth down. Again, he rolls. Looks for a receiver. He's got time. Rolls. Throws it away. And there is no one there. And again, there was Schroeder on the play. It seems like he could have run the ball for the first down, but he opts to throw it on the Marauders defense hold here. So all the Marauders have to do now is run a minute and 15 seconds off the clock, and they would go into the finals for the Parochial A championship.
First time since '86.
credit Ted Schroeder on that play.
Yes.
Because McGovern had plenty of time. I mean, for a second, I even thought he was going to run the ball because there was a lot of field open in front of him. But Schroeder rose to the occasion and knocked him down, and St. Peter's seems to be in very good position right now.
Well, it seemed to me he should have run the ball. He had enough to get the first down, but of course, you know, we don't know what play. As we see the crowd, capacity crowd here at Cable Point, Jersey City, historic game, and that it's the first time a state tournament game has ever been held in Jersey City, and I'm sure the state officials will come back again. Handoff to Schroeder, and he picks up about 5 yards on the play, and of course, Bergen Catholic will call a timeout. Minute 10 seconds remaining in the game, and of course they have 2 timeouts left. They'll use all their timeouts in an effort to try to get the ball back for one less play. But with a minute, 10 seconds left to go, I guess one can say the Marauders are in the driver's seat. And Paul, the conditioning that we thought might be a factor, seems like St. Peter's Prep is in good condition.
Yes, it's early in the half. Early in the half, it didn't look that way. I just think that the momentum maybe had shifted Bergen Catholic's way, and Prep was kind of down. But they got it back. They sucked it back up, and that's a testament to their coaching staff as well as the kids to keep these kids pumped up. Rich Hansen told me last night, even though the boys lost Prisco, they weren't down. They were sky high for this game, and they maintained it throughout the game. They had lulls here and there, but for the most part, they kept that intensity up.
Yeah, and let's say, too, should Del Barton, if St. Peter's Prep wins this game and Del Barton should upset St. Joseph Montvale, guess where the game will be played next week?
Oh, boy.
Right here at Cave and Point.
If they play Del Barton, yes.
Exactly, if they play Del Barton, only that. Oh, there's a flag on a play. As there seemed to be a man that jumped too soon on the part of the Marauders, so that stops the clock, and you want that clock to run. That's a legal procedure against the Marauders, and they'll march the ball back. But, you know, it's, again, I want to make it clear to the fans out there, if Prep should win, the only way they could play a Cave and Point anymore this year is if Del Barton should upset St. Joseph Montvale. If not, it'll be played at St. Joseph Montvale. So let's...
And that's because Del Barton is seeded 5th and St. Joe's is seeded 1 in Parochial A. Yeah. So the better seed gets the home field advantage.
Since Prep was seeded 2nd, and of course they still have a minute and 10 seconds, and anything can happen in a minute and 10 seconds. Handoff. Looks like, again, that ball was handed off to Schroeder.
I'm quite sure.
No, not McKay.
Okay, I hope he wasn't looking to pitch that one back.
No.
I am sure that Rich Hansen wants his backs to run with the ball, and when you're tackled, be tackled.
That's right.
You know, it's almost like he's probably even thrown some crazy glue on the hands of the running backs.
And you can bet that they've got their hands, two hands around them. That's like this.
Like Vito Capersa.
Yes.
Bergen Catholic has another timeout left, so they're going to get the football back unless Prep gets a first down.
Yes, and you know, it seems like it's getting, you know, it's got that snow look outside.
Yep.
Look at it. It really does. But again, the Prep Marauders will definitely celebrate. I was talking to one of the guys from the Fathers Club. He said this morning before they came out here to play, the Fathers Club got together and prepared them pancakes.
Where can we celebrate after this game?
Well, yeah, quite a few places we can. Yeah. Oh, there's the road to the semis. Paul, would you want to read that and tell us how St. Peter's Prep got there?
Here's how St. Peter's got here. They're 8-1. They beat Hudson Catholic 33-6. St. Joe's West New York 40-0. Emerson 28, Union City 6. St. Peter's 28, Emerson Union City 6. Prep 8, Middletown South 22 when they ran into that wall down there and
Mr. Pitts.
Jersey Shore team. 28-6 over Dickinson, 30-6 over Bayonne, 19-14 over Marist, 15-7 over North Bergen in the big one, and 14-3 over Memorial.
Yes, as this is a third down play for the Marauders, and their job is not to fumble the ball or do anything that's going to give and there's a handoff to McKay.
He's going to get the first down.
And there goes McKay. Oh! He brings it out to the 40-yard line. So I guess you can say that is it for Bergen Catholic. One man away from definitely getting his 1,000 yards. Had he eluded that tackler, it was all over. But in terms of celebrating, well, you know, we got some friends who always go down to J.C. Winston's there, and they watch our games every Monday and Wednesday night. So to the fans there, make sure you watch this semifinal state tournament game because it's been a great game.
And the gentleman who made the touchdown-saving tackle for Bergen Catholic, who's had a very outstanding game, and you see the Marauder cheerleaders, the man who made that tackle, Jim Ruda.
Well, I tell you, that was an excellent run by Mulcahy. Again, Mulcahy's fighting McKay.
Wow.
McKay And Mulcahy picks up another 12 yards, 11 to 12 yards on a play.
Well, he hasn't stopped playing, that's for sure.
I tell you what, if that's 35 yards, he may have the 1,000 yards.
He's got his 1,000 right
He's
now.
close to the 1,000 yards.
We got to talk
for
to
the
our
season.
stat
Mulcahy.
man, Crazy Lou, to let us know what those stats are.
19 yards for 130, you say 133, 19 carries for 133 yards. If that's true, and you know, he could be 1,000 yards. I'd like to see him get one more carry.
He started with 850, didn't he? Or?
As they called time, he came in with 850. He needs 150 yards. No, he needs another 17 yards.
Does he need 150?
Needs about 17 more yards to get the touchdown.
Okay.
Okay, as we see the road to the semis by Bergen Catholic 7-3. They defeated Clifton 7-6. Then beat Patterson East Side 27-6. They beat Bergen 28-0, but they lost to Montclair 21-6. Beat Don Bosco.
And that was a shocking defeat.
41-14. But Passaic, they lost to them 29-0. That's a great team. They beat Patterson Kennedy. That was an upset, beating Patterson Kennedy 14-7. And also Ridgewood.
Ridgewood was also the big upset.
And then a great game in the first round of the state tournament. They beat Queen of Peace and Squeaker 28-25. And Vern, what does that last one say? Who was that they lost to?
Montville. In the regular season game, 28-0.
Okay, that was the Thanksgiving Day.
That's right.
Okay, so they didn't have any turkey that day either. Yeah, but this has been a great performance on the part of both teams, Bergen Catholic and St. Peter's Prep. You couldn't ask for a better semifinal matchup and game. You know, it's been everything you wanted it to be. 13 seconds remaining, and Guma just goes down on the knee. As we see, Bergen Catholic guys are still going at it pretty strong. As the clock ticks down, we have 1 second as you hear the fans. And that is the ball game. The St. Peter's Prep Marauders advance to the final round of the Parochial A New Jersey State North Championship against the winner of Del Barton and St. Joseph's of Montvale. You know the Marauders rose to the occasion this afternoon.
St. Peter's now on the year 9-1. They definitely did in the second half. We thought with the opening 6-minute drive by Bergen Catholic, which resulted in a touchdown by Jim Ruder, that took the wind out of the sails of St. Peter's. But they came right back with that 1-yard touchdown run by Schroeder and continued their winning ways in the fourth quarter. And they go on to beat Bergen Catholic, who ends their season 7-4. And the final score: St. Peter's Prep 28, Bergen Catholic 20.
Okay.
All right, you know, we'll be back with you right after these commercial messages.
The Kennedy Dancers present Holiday Ballet at the Roy Irving Theater, St. Peter's College in Jersey City. Saturdays, December 2nd and 9th at 8 p.m. Sundays, December 3rd and 10th at 3 p.m. Come and enjoy Holiday Ballet. For ticket information, call 659-2190.
All right, we're back here at Caven Point. Final score, St. Peter's Prep 28-20. Paul and Vernon, what can you say about a game like this?
Oh, it was a tremendous win for the Prep. They avenged the loss that they had in '86. They also came from behind to win the game. A situation that they were in earlier in the season against North Bergen and Marist. Showed a lot of character. It was just a great performance.
Well, we've got Joe Wisniewski down on the field with 3 happy St. Peter's Prep Marauders. Let's go down to the interview with Joe the Wiz Wisniewski.
Thank you from the booth. With me is the heart and soul of the Marauders offense and defense. To my left is Anthony Guma, and to my right is Mr. Mulcahy, and of course Ted Schroeder. Gentlemen, congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anthony, a tremendous game. You were voted All-American quarterback back caller. You should be voted quarterback in the back. Tell us a little about your season. It was just a tremendous season.
Well, everything makes everything a lot easier. When you're winning, And you know, I probably wouldn't have got voted if it wasn't my team winning, and you know, and everybody blocking, and I got, every time we run a sprint out, I got Ted Schroeder throws a heck of a block, and Paul McKay's always catching the ball, so you know, everything's just working together for us.
Paul, tell us a little bit about the situation with you. Today, you only needed, I believe it was 130 yards. You came close. Unofficially, I have you down for like 120 yards. It's close. Unofficial. Tremendous. You had 2 touchdowns for the game. Can't ask anything more from an athlete.
Yes, you can. It was ran good, pretty good. I wanted to get those stats, but the whole today had a good blocking. This guy blocked good. He pitched the ball out to me nice, and I just shaked and baked, got into the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Ted, you didn't seem to do much action in the first half, but you came out in the second half and you were on fire. You had the 2 big carries, I believe, were over 40 yards. All your yardage basically was in the second half. Was there some type of strategy in the second half that you were going to alternate the ball between you 2 guys?
Well, the coach saw that they were running a 4-3 defense, and the linebackers had to pick a side. And we figured if we gave it to the fullback, because we were throwing it outside a lot in the first half, that it would loosen things up with the passing and stuff in the first half. Right. So when I would just run where the 49, the Kitchell, and the other linebacker they got there, wherever the other side they went to, I ran on the opposite side, and it was like an open hole because Guma opened it up in the first half. So they were expecting pass. Okay, Anthony, as I mentioned, you were throwing the ball a lot today. We didn't expect the ball to be going in the air so much. I mean, what was the game plan when you came out today?
Well, the game plan was to mix it up, and you know, because these guys have been running all year and everything like that, and so you know, everybody's expecting run.
They knew it was coming, kind of.
Yeah, they did. They knew exactly what was coming, and you know, just to mix it up a little, you know, just hands to figure we pass.
Well, at the end of when the third quarter started, Bergen Catholic got the ball back, and they took the lead for the first time in the game. Was anybody concerned? Paul, were you concerned about the situation?
Not at all. Not at all. I had a lot of confidence in our offense. I knew we could come back. We had the line, and they were weakening. They were getting down on themselves, and I knew if we kept on running the ball, prime time, cut back, and went in over there. So that's what it's all about. We could do it.
Gentlemen, these are all seniors. These are all seniors. Next year, hopefully you'll all be playing for a college football team. Anthony, I'm sure you've got numerous offers from numerous colleges. Tell us, where are you going?
I'm looking towards Rutgers.
Do you want to be a quarterback there, or do you want to? What position would you like to play at Rutgers?
Wherever I can get a good break and a scholarship or anything of that sort, I'll go.
Paul, what about yourself?
If it's free, it's me. If I get a scholarship, I'm going wherever they want.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of colleges looking for your talents because you are an excellent running back. And Ted, what about your situation?
Well, I was thinking maybe Ivy League, but I don't know, Middlebury or some Division III schools are showing interest in me. But my top choices must be Princeton by now. That's right.
Gentlemen, one final question. Next week, you're going to have the big game. It'll be St. Joe's playing Del Barton, which is taking place right now. We don't know the score right now. However, which team would you rather play? St. Joe's is known as probably the best parochial school in this area. And I had interviewed Mr. Rich Hansen earlier in the week, and he had said that he had something to say about that. Last year, you played Del Barton, and it was an upsetting loss. So who do you want to play? If you play Del Barton, obviously you'll be here with your home crowd. Does it make a difference who you play?
Not really. The only difference would be to play here at home. You know, we'd have the advantage there. You know, this great crowd. You know, like Rick Granda and Mulcahy up there. You know, people like that just give all the support in the world.
Paul, question. The situation, a lot of people say that St. Joe's is a powerful team, and you guys are going to have a very, very difficult time if you go against them. You will be a heavy underdog.
You're right, exactly. But we'll take them. We worked hard today. We're getting better each week. Line's getting better. I think we'll play anyone. We'll play anyone, and we'll beat anyone.
How do you feel about the situation, Ted?
I think we play with the talent that we're playing against. We'll rise to the occasions. Like we played Bergen Catholic, and they were very good. We played with them. We played Middletown South, and we played with them. I feel if St. Joe's comes out and they're a great team, I think we'll rise. We'll take it to the next level, just like we did against Middletown. But we'll do the things that we had to do to win.
Okay, it'll be the Marauders either playing St. Joe's or Del Barton. Back up to the booth. Good luck, gentlemen.
All right. Bye time, baby.
Well, no, thank you. But you know, I tell you, when you look at those 3 guys that play well, that's why, now you know why I like Paul McKay.
He is.
I mean, he lets it hang loose.
He's a talent.
And we mean it from a positive angle. This is the type of guy I want on my side in a war or anything.
Any day of the week, I want Paul Mulcahy on my football team or even on my basketball team, anytime.
You better believe it. And Guma, of course, had a great game. And Ted Schroeder was the key, Paul, in that second half.
Also, another key was the loss of Jim Taylor on the side of Bergen Catholic because he was a running back that was doing very well. But we're going to go down to the field because Tony Guma's got head coach Fred Stenkel.
We're here with Coach Fred Stengel of the Bergen Catholic Crusaders. Coach, tough loss.
Yeah, it was, especially in a situation where we came back and we played tough and after some adversity early, and what can you say other than they played an outstanding football game. They came back to their power offense, their power running game in the second half, and it helped them quite a bit. We had just had trouble controlling their run when they came straight at us.
The loss of Taylor in the second half, what was the effect?
The effect was not as great on offense as it was on defense. Jimmy is an outstanding young football player. He's only a sophomore. He starts both ways for us, and he's actually a better defensive player than he is an offensive player. The lane boy, number 32, came in and played an outstanding game for us. He returns the kickoff for a touchdown, makes some outstanding runs. That's his first real varsity test. I mean, he had played sophomore football most of the season, came in a big state game like this. He's got a world of talent. He's going to have a great future ahead of him. So I'm proud of our kids and the way they played. And we have no regrets. It was an outstanding season for us. We finished 7-4. We got to the playoffs. No one expected us even to have a winning season. I'm proud, and we'll be back.
Dave McGovern played a fine game except for that punt, and that was really nothing he could do about that with the wind blowing at him.
The wind became a factor only in the sense that when we kicked on that fourth down play, it looked to me like he caught the tip of the ball and it went straight up in the air and then came backwards. I think was it 4 yards? 4 yards total as for a punt. And it was unfortunate, but the kid played a good game, and that's the way the breaks of the game go. And you have to give St. Peter's credit. They did a nice job.
Well, with the young squad that you have, you look to be a force to be reckoned with next year, and I wish you all the best. Thank you again, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right. We're going back up to the booth now.
Back to the booth.
Hello. Well, you know, Vern, you're right, and Tony,